You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And he just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just smashed his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your business, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Dale. I'll see you later. Find someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Right here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was on. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name's Cam. Joining me so far, Ari Gold Boss and Roos. And it's quite funny that these guys are joining me because we're British. And after a big American pay-per-view, we thought some of the American cats would be on. But they're not on at the moment. I think they were so disgusted with that whole pay-per-view and spending $75, man. I think they're all fucking boycotting the coalition, I think. What's happening, Ari? What's happening, Roos?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. How are you, Roos? Ari, sorry.
Yeah, I'm good, Cam.
Let's just jump into the Mayweather then, and hopefully some of these guys will jump in after we've got into the episode a bit. Mayweather fight for me. Shout out to a guy that I go to the gym with, Yasser. He's got a little man cave at the back of his house, and he invited us round. He's got like a big projection, and it's like a 100-inch screen onto the wall. He invited me and TBE Chef from the chat round on Saturday night.
Pause, man.
Yo, man, like, it's a nice invite. There's a lot of the boys from the gym we go to, the boxing gym.
In a man cave, yeah?
Yo, you know how they call it the boom boom room. I don't know what's worse, the man cave or the boom boom room.
At 4 in the morning, yeah?
Yeah. Why you always have to make it some gay sexual shit, Roos, man? Like that tells us more about you than it tells about us, man. Come on, Roos. But no, yo, shout out to Yasser, man, because it was a nice evening, man. Caught up with a lot of the lads from the gym. But yeah, Mayweather, I was overall quite just disappointed with Maidana's tactics. Like the first 2-3 rounds, I thought, oh, maybe he's going to pace himself. Maybe he's thinking, well, what I'll do is I'll take the first few rounds easy, and then I'll start doing my original tactics from the first fight in the 3rd, 4th round, and maybe by the 9th, 10th, Floyd might be a bit gassed from, just the defending and the movement, and then that will be his tactic. But I don't know what his tactic was personally. But what did you think, Roos?
Yeah, well, let me just get my notes down, man. Yeah, it was disappointing from what I can remember. First fight, I think a lot of people kind of fell into the hype that, yeah, he's gonna do more than the best that he did in the first fight, and that's probably just people just setting the bar a bit too high for him. Because, he's never been the type of boxer who can make adjustments, so to speak. And he was just out of his depth, man. So it was disappointing, but, we can't really fault him so much because, like I say, it's the people who raise the bar for him. He he couldn't really raise the bar for himself, for him to make those adjustments that are needed. And from round 1 to round 3, Floyd just established his fight, his pace, and Maidana was just chasing him. Round 4 was good for him. He had a good round 4, and I think that's probably the round that people could give him convincingly. And round 12 also, just only because Floyd just literally ran and didn't do anything. So, you give it to Maidana, even though he didn't land as much, but just for him pressing on the fight. So 2 rounds. I only gave him 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think I'd give him 3. I think I'd give him the 4th, and I don't know if it was the 8th or the 10th, and then obviously the 12th. But Ari, what did you think of the fight overall before we get to a caller on the line?
Yeah, I gave him 3 as well. I think I gave him, round 8, the round he bit Floyd's finger, I gave him that. But yeah, on the fight, I don't know, man. I'm like, usually me, I like, even though a lot of people say Floyd's boring, most of the time I actually usually enjoy his fights. But like, for example, the first Maidana fight and, the Canelo fight, I've seen them multiple times. But this fight, like, I went to rewatch it and I just can't be bothered. I got to that round 3 and I realised I just can't be bothered. Like, the fight was just boring, man. And I feel sorry for guys who paid for it. You know what I mean? Obviously, me, I'm a streamer. But even me, I was thinking, I think it was like round 7, I was thinking, should I just go to sleep and catch on Simbros later, because it was just boring, man. But on the fight, yeah, man, after like round 4 or round 5, I realised when I had Floyd 4-1 up, I realised like Maidana's not going to come back. He's not adjusted. He's not doing nothing. He's just following around the ring. He hasn't got any idea really what to do. And I kind of had I kind of thought this might happen actually, because I was listening to an interview on IFL TV by Coogan was interviewing Mikey Garcia, and Mike Garcia was talking about how it sounded like to me that they were going to try and box more. And when I heard, he said something like, we've been working on the jab and trying to jab more, and that's when I realised they're going about it wrong. And you know what I mean? I think they just thought about the fight too much, and they maybe got a bit too gassed up after what happened in the first fight. Maybe they thought they could jab with Floyd and maybe not, you know what I mean? Try and maybe catch him on outside and counter more. And obviously with Floyd, you're not going to outbox Floyd, kind of like the same mistake Canelo did. And that's what they did. Instead of trying to rush him like they did the first time, they tried to play it calm. And you know what I mean? I just don't know what they were thinking, really.
Yeah, even at points in the mid rounds, like, I just don't understand why he was making any adjustments. Like, he's clearly losing the fight so far. Like, try something different. And like, I didn't hear much of the corner work. I don't know if it was the Box Nation broadcast or if it was just the general broadcast that Robert Garcia wasn't really getting any airtime. I didn't hear anything he said. Obviously, it would have been in Spanish anyway. But to me, I'm pretty lost with the whole game plan. But let me get to a caller. Royalty.
Just know I got my eyes on you.
I got my eyes on you.
What up, Ness? You there? Maybe Ness.
Yeah, man. I'm on mute, laughing about that intro. I like it.
Yo, Ness, you talking or are you just listening at the moment, Ness?
I'm gonna just listen, because honestly, all I'm gonna do is bring down the tempo of the show. Like, this fight, it wasn't exciting. There's not much to talk about. I mean, Floyd, as much as I love this guy, I'm so tired of him, man. I'm just tired, dude. I mean, we all know that he's as good as he is, but then we don't ever understand, like, why does there have to be glove controversy and testing controversy, and I'm coming out first, and I'm only paying you this. Like, it's just so many concessions at this point. I'm tired. Plus, he ran in that fight, like, and no one gave him shit yesterday on my show. Like, nobody mentioned one time that this dude was running around the fucking ring, but when Laura does it, it's a problem. I mean, this dude literally just ran around in that 12th round for so long, and he just really stole the fun out of this fight, man. It was just corny. It was really a bad fight, in my opinion. I mean, he looked great whenever he was fighting, but when he wasn't fighting, he was holding. Like, man, I was gonna call you and ask you that we should do a video, like, clip a lot of this fight and then just put him, like, put like some music of him and Maidana like dancing to like some bachata or something. It was crazy. You know, they held so much that I'm pretty sure if you like loop it with another song, you can make it look like they were literally dancing in the ring. It was too much holding. Kenny Bellis is an asshole. I can't even believe he did that shit. You could tell he was in Mayweather's pocket. It was, I mean, you know, you take a point from Maidana without warning, yet you give Floyd like 2-3 warnings on the elbow and never take a point. It was just bad, man. It's just bad. They want this dude to finish undefeated so bad that they're going to do whatever. And I'm not saying Maidana had a shot, but they didn't even give him an opportunity to fight his fight. It was just horrible. One dude was able to fight his game plan, which was stay on the outside, and the other dude was not able to stay on the inside because he wasn't allowed. It was horrible, man.
But you see, with Ness, yeah, is it a case where, as a boxer, if someone is not allowing you to fight your fight, yeah, you have to make some adjustments. So we can't really put it all on Floyd 100%. Like he's
no, because listen, in the past that might have worked, but this time around, man, you got to admit, you know, you can't lie to yourself. If one arm was free, he was stopping Maidana. If both arms was free, he was stopping Maidana. Yep. If they looked like they were going to clinch, he was stopping both of them. Like, Bayless was just out of control, man, and it's really sad. I had his number, and that shit is not the same number anymore. I'm sad because I wanted to grill him because this doesn't make any sense. It's just, you know, I know B brought up the whole fact of being blackballed and everything, but it has to be more to it than just that. Like, you know, that was a really bad job, and so many people are talking about it. You know, outside of just your show and my show, like you could see it on the internet. People aren't happy. Like I had casual fans, like my uncle, for instance. He called me today, and he didn't understand what was going on. I mean, we're at the point where these fighters are able to do whatever they want right now, man. They can just do what they want. This dude, because he's like, you know, the top draw, he's just doing whatever he wants, and it's unfair, man. It was not pleasing at all. And then that entire card was bad anyway. I mean, like, outside of Angulo getting beat up, like, what was there to watch? You know, it was bad, man. It was bad. I hope these numbers fucking do horrible. It's like so bad, like 100,000 is what I would be in love with.
I think you got like 500. Maybe.
I hope it gets less. I hope it gets about 354 or something like that. So then maybe they're gonna have.
We'll never know.
Yeah, exactly. We'll never know. But maybe they're gonna have to force like Floyd's hand now to fight better opposition.
And for real, I only want to see Pacquiao. I don't want to see Khan. I'll get on the Khan. Sorry, Cam, I have to do this. But I just don't like what I've been seeing this week from the guy. Like all in the press, talking to the press. Oh, I'm calling the Prime Minister. I need to get over there. He's acting like some Stalker Rex or something, man. He needs to chill. Like what? I'm gonna say it, man. Queen Khan, man. He sounds like a queen this week. I'm not gonna lie. That's his new nickname. I'm saying it from now on because the kind of shit he's been doing this week, he just needs to chill. Fight someone credible at least. If you're really begging for this fight someone credible, please. I see they had him up there with Furman. I was waiting for the what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. You know, the Showtime guy when they were interviewing them. I was waiting for him to at least say, what about Khan versus Furman? They're both sitting right next to him. He didn't even answer the question. Them two should be fighting. Winner fights Floyd. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd take it that way too, but I mean, with all the leverage that Khan has, maybe he doesn't get robbed, and maybe he gets a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't complain about holding, or there is no holding in that fight. I don't know, but I just can't sit through another Mayweather fight looking like that one. You know, it wasn't fun at all. This didn't look like Guerrero or Canelo. It was just far too much holding. That guy that calls in from Detroit, Wassam, he did a clinch count, and he said it was only like 87 clinches. But
71.
Okay, 71. But he said there was 18 in the ninth and in the eighth round, I think. I just seen the tweet, but basically two of the ending rounds were like 18, 19 clinches. Just think about that and divide it into 3 minutes. Like, that's some bullshit, man. And something really needs to happen. And at this point, you know, unless we're going to do some sort of petition or fucking, you know, bomb the fucking Nevada State Athletic Commission with numerous emails, man, there's nothing we can do, man. It's just like bullshit, dude. I just want this dude to retire, man. I've said that for a long time, but now, like, I'm really ready. I'm ready for him to get shot or retired. Like, somebody Malcolm X's ass is all I need.
Ness just wants him gone. Ness just wants the fresh new batch coming in. But we got Kevin Horn on the line. Kevin, what did you think of the fight?
I was very disappointed in the fight. I never say I'm not going to buy a pay-per-view because, like Ness, like, I don't have the strength. I'm always going to buy it. People are always going to come over my house because they know I'm going to buy it. They don't even ask me anymore. They just show up because they know I'm going to have it.
Yo, did they bring any food at least? Did they bring some munchies and stuff or what?
Yeah. They usually throw down some money or bring some food and stuff. So they know the drill by now. It's been happening for years. But the thing is, this is the first time that I've ever had 3 people just get up and leave and go to the bar in the 9th round of a fight. And it was bad. Like, and these guys don't come to my house for Pacquiao fights. These guys are strictly like Mayweather fans. And they were like, they're already in the small room of my house watching the college football during the undercard because it was so bad. And then during Floyd's fight, they were like, come on, man. Like, yo, if I wanted to watch wrestling and stuff, I'd watch MMA with the hugging and the grappling. They were like, this dude just doesn't want to engage, and it's just not fun. It's not fun, and, it is illegal. And I'm with Ness on the whole thing where it's just like accepting it as, well, this is what happens, and this is what's taught in gyms. It's like, it's not taught in gyms. It's a last resort. It's not a defense. And I think Ness made a great point when he said he was using it as defense. When he couldn't do something, he would grab. He would reach out with 2 arms and grab. It's not like dude got inside and he got his feet tripped up, so he just clinched for like a reset. No, he would just grab and like fully extend and grab, and it was bad. I mean, it was really bad. And Mayweather said it himself when he's like, there's a difference between A-class fighters and B-class fighters. And, the question then becomes, well, when are you going to fight an A-class fighter then? Because, Maidana's a tough guy, but, you favor him over any of the top 4 or 5 guys? I don't know. It was bad. It was really bad. I got my hopes up. I got fooled by All Access and Maidana's whole like Roberto Duran persona for this fight, with the machismo and the tough guy acting. I just like, maybe this is the guy. Maybe just take somebody who don't give a shit, a crude guy that is going to land that shot. You know what I mean? And
hey, Kevin, can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the top 4 that Maidana doesn't stand a chance versus?
Nah, I like if I seen him fight Bradley or Pacquiao, I don't think he beats either one of those 2.
Okay. And now I'm so.
And this is the thing. Everybody else doesn't even count those 2 because they know they're top rank. You know what I mean? But I don't give anybody a pass for that, especially when you go around telling everybody you're your own boss and you call your shots. So then make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, Bradley was definitely willing to come over there. Like, I know people that are negotiating right now that are top ranked fighters that are negotiating with Heyman and Golden Boy or Showtime fighters. Like, it's come on. If you're your own boss, make it happen. So
I get caught up in that too. Like, when you said top 4, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? But I completely ignore any top ranked fighters because I know what it is. And it's sad. It's sad that that's the world that we live in, man. And that's why, like, dude, listen to all the callers. No one was excited. No one was happy. Like, even the people that called in to defend Mayweather were still unhappy. So
the thing I didn't get about the people who called in to defend Mayweather, and this is where I get people who attack me all the time, is because they know I hate Mayweather. I don't hide it. I don't, whatever. It is what it is. Is they call in and like, yo, Maidana's dirty anyway, so don't complain about the holding. So what, everything's an individual entity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he held nonstop. For you to act like it didn't happen or to act like it didn't have an effect in the fight. And I loved when Mauro Ranallo, who knows nothing, it seems, about the sport, tried pulling the old, when they were talking about the holding, he tried pulling out well, we all know that this really didn't have a major outcome in the fight. And Brian Kenny and Paulie Malignaggi just shut him down. Like, how could you say that? Like, the holding affects every other aspect of the fight. Punch count, landed punches, just like the mentality of the guy. Like, he was so, like, detested. Like, he was done. Like, his morale was so low. I think that's where the bite comes from and everything. It's just like, he knew he was fighting another guy. And Mayweather doesn't need a second guy. Like, as much as I hate him, like, the guy's great. The guy's in phenomenal shape all the time. He lacks power, but he has every other tool. He'd be competitive in any era, beat any top guys. He has a chance in any era. But, like, to act like he didn't hold when it's obvious, like, he stunk the joint out. I mean, it was bad.
I love your show, Ness, but last night some of the Flomos were definitely out last night. But
then
the one guy that pulled the old they tell you to break argument or whatever, the throwback boxer, I was like, yeah, speeding. He was like, you don't get the death penalty. I was like, yeah, but if you get caught speeding enough times, you get points on your license, you get your license taken away. So it's like everything has a recourse for it.
Yeah, exactly. But to go back to what Ari was saying before about Khan, like, I agree with a lot of Ari says. I know everyone knows I'm a big Khan fan, but I think just making a statement saying, oh, you got rejected from entering the USA, fair enough, but don't start saying I'm going to contact the Prime Minister and try and do this and do that. It does make you look like a whiny little guy. Having said that, when it comes to Floyd's next opponent, like, even though I've always said Khan doesn't deserve it because of what he's done in the last couple of years, I think the style matchup would be interesting to watch, because I'm tired of watching these labouring guys against Floyd. I want to see a bit of speed against them, and if Pacquiao's not going to fight him, then I prefer the Khan fight or the Thurman fight. Either of those two I'm really happy with. I don't want to see Floyd fight anyone else.
Ari, and I don't know who mentioned it when they I'm sorry, Cam. I don't know who mentioned it. Maybe it was Ari that said they didn't even bring up Khan and Thurman fighting each other. And the whole time they were sitting next to each other, I was thinking,
yeah.
And I know you're not going to like this because you're a Khan fan, but I was thinking with his chin, he's the perfect, well-known opponent for Thurman to jump on the main scene on with a classic knockout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, but if he goes out and has a spectacular sparks out Khan knockout, that's the perfect build-up for a Floyd fight.
No, I think it was Ari that said that. I think he said that they should feed Khan to Thurman, which is, I can understand, because it is a name where he can kind of catapult himself on. But I think Khan would definitely stay away from that fight. But we're talking about Thurman. Here's a little soundbite that Nota, shout out to Nota, brought to my attention.
That's my wife, but she looks good beside you, brother. She looks good. Hey, once you're going to be bigger and better than Floyd, that picture will be famous. Thank you. Are you fans of Keith Thurman? Oh, man, he's the bomb, man. Because he's got power, he's entertaining, and you know what? Floyd's got to be challenged, man. It's about time, right? Man, reporting in Canada.
Yo, Jose was trying to arrange marriage.
Right,
yeah, that's Canadian Jose. He's trying to do an arranged marriage with his wife, man, trying to hook him up with Keith Thurman.
Jose out there selling his wife to crazy, man.
Yo, Jose's trying to sell it to the biggest bidder, man. Fuck it out.
I'm going to be right back, guys. I'm going to place you on hold and listen while I do some things.
All right, Ness, take it easy. I think we've exhausted kind of Floyd, the topic. Any of you guys got anything last to say?
Sorry.
I wanted. Sorry, let me go.
No, go on.
I wanted to touch more of his Maidana's fitness. You know, obviously, you know, I think we spoke about it, Kev, as well, a while back. You know, people being used to be on a regimen as a seasoned fighter. You know, so for the last count, like, you know, okay, he didn't have enough time. Okay, then this one he got enough time, but his body is not used and is not conditioned to be a seasoned fighter training, right? In regards to training. So even when you do give him the 8 weeks, you know, if you're not consistent of giving him 8 weeks every time, you know, you're not really going to see the results of it. And in the, like, I think it was round 7, you know, he had his peekaboo guard, high guard up, and then he's like, he kind of put it down and he was shaking his legs like he's tired. And I'm like, whoa. And he just totally gassed out. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I think he looked off on the scale. I think a lot of people give people who comment on that shit about it and stuff like that. But he looked skinny and fat at the same time. Like, his face and his neck was all drawn out, but his stomach, he still had love handles and shit. Like, if you're cutting weight as a pro boxer, I don't think you should really have love handles, man.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, no.
But let's face it, if he came in looking like Barry Bonds on steroids, he's still going to lose to Floyd.
On the fight as well, I realised Floyd didn't really jab a lot, and if he did jab, he wasn't really landing it. I don't know, man. Like I said, like it's weird to me. Like I think someone said it on the Box Quiz yesterday as well, where even though Floyd won this one, like you know what I mean, easy on the cards, he still looked more vulnerable in my opinion, and I think he's starting to show like he's slowing down. I don't know, like some of the punches, and Maidana's slow, and Maidana's still coming in and landing, and you know what I mean, hitting them. You'd think like prime Floyd anyway. He's you know what I mean, he's getting away from them quick. But with Maidana, I don't understand, man. Like I think he's definitely slowing down. This is the first fight where I could definitely say, yeah, he's slowing down, and you know what I mean.
I wouldn't say it's slowing down so much. It's like, but I do believe Maidana kind of put that doubt in his mind. So even when he had to face him the second time, you know, it wouldn't be like the same old Floyd. You know, he's very cautious and very wary, right? So, you know, to other people, it may look like he's slowing down, but I don't think he's slowing down.
It's hard to say someone's slowing down when he lands almost every punch exactly where he wants to land it, when he wants to land it. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about like hand speed, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because Maidana's not a defensive genius, but I think you're right. Maidana did the Floyd move. He pulled and threw the right hand over the top a couple times and beat him to the punch with the jab a couple times too. So I guess I see what you're saying.
Guys, let me get to a caller. We've got Darwin on the line. Are you there, Darwin? Darwin?
Yeah. I was on mute. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Darwin. How you doing?
Yeah.
Doing good. Just listening to you guys right now. Don't want you guys touched up on. I heard you guys talking about Maidana's shape. Well, I got something to say about that. I felt that he was I don't know. This is probably, I might be wrong, I might be right, but I felt that he wasn't in as good shape as he was in the first fight. And some people might say he was because he had 8 weeks of training camp, but he had 5 weeks of training camp with Alex Ariza. And love him or hate him, dude, you know that Alex Ariza knows what he's doing. Robert Garcia, I mean, he's a boxing trainer, but he's not a fitness trainer. He doesn't know the science of personal nutrition and all that stuff. So, you know, I think it showed in the fight because Maidana did not look as he just didn't seem to have as much stamina. But it could probably be a factor of him just trying to keep his stamina until the late rounds, because in the first fight he kind of just went all out and maybe he didn't want to blow his load. But that's my take on the stamina part.
Darwin, this is KH, man. You know, the trainer that they brought in was a guy who worked with Morales and Margarito for a lot of years, and those guys always threw 100 punches in a round and never got tired. So they brought in a trainer that's used to working with pro athletes. He might not have the same scientific approach that Ariza had. Remember, in the first set of all accesses for the first fight, you know, they had all the computerized stuff and the dietitian there and all that. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I just wanted to comment on that.
No, yeah, that's a good point. What I have to say about that, yeah, maybe that's a factor. Maybe it's not. I know everybody's body is different. All we know is that Alex Ariza Marcos Maidana does look good with Alex Ariza. So, you know, it's a shame that they didn't work together, because I felt that, his regimen worked good. But Mayweather was fighting pretty well. I mean, he was running. He wasn't. I'm not gonna say he was running, because I don't like saying that, but he was definitely staying off the ropes, and maybe that played a factor. I didn't like the holding for sure, though. He was definitely holding. I didn't realize how much he was holding until I watched the fight the day after, and it's hard to watch that fight because, like when I was watching it live, it was nice to watch, you know, because of all the hype and stuff. But when I'm trying to watch it again, it's just hard to watch because you just realize how much holding he's doing. But I mean, he did what he had to do to win, and that's it. I gotta get off now, but I just have one question. What do you guys think about Pacquiao versus Mayweather now? Yeah.
Thanks, Darren. Me personally, I can see it happening now. I can see, like, you never seen Showtime mention Pacquiao at the end. You know, Jim Gray mentioned it to Floyd, and he did mention it this time. And I think with the amount of, I think this pay-per-view is going to have a loss. So I think they're going to have to force Floyd's hand and say, well, you give us a few pay-per-views that have not done great, so we need the Pacquiao fight to bring a bit of money back. That's my view. Anyone else want to jump in?
I mean, I watch a ton of YouTube boxing videos, like, you know, Ellie and Hustle Boss and, you know, Charles Roberts or whatever his name is. And for the first time after this fight, a lot of like Nate Jones and a lot of the other cornermen and guys in his camp also brought up Pacquiao. And usually they're just real dismissive of Pacquiao and never really bring him up unless they clown him. And this time they actually brought him up as a fight. So I don't know if it's something that they've been talking about and stuff like that, and it came out. But yeah, Floyd didn't sound too convincing, like it's going to happen in the post-fight press conference, like where he pulled the old, you know, I'm my own boss, I call my own shots. You know,
Yeah.
Obviously he ain't doing something right, otherwise he'd be in my position. Like, what does that have to do with the fight? Like, he doesn't even answer the questions.
Yeah, what do you think, Reese?
Yeah, I would rather see, you know, some of the new young guys. I mean, I want to see Thurman, Floyd. I mean, more than Pacquiao, Floyd.
You want to see the young, hungry lion?
Yeah, I want to see the young, hungry lion, man. You know what I mean? Someone who go. I think the closest person who could replicate Maidana's power on both hands is Thurman. You know, and that seems to be something that even with Floyd, first twitch muscles is very wary of and is very cautious of, and you know he will make him. And Thurman also knows how to cut the ring, which Maidana don't. Pacquiao, not so much. So I'd rather see Thurman, Floyd.
You'll be happy. You'll be fine with being a huge boxing fan and not getting to see this fight, even if it's years late. Like, you know, Hagler and Ray Leonard was years late, but it had to happen. You know what I mean? And like, this is something where like, I just feel like even if it's past its prime, like it's got to happen. Like, it's got to happen. You know what I mean? That's just my feeling. Like, I've always felt that it's gonna happen because how could it not? Like, how could it not? I don't know.
With me and Pacquiao, with Floyd and Pacquiao, in my eyes, I'm not gonna like jump on the hype train until like you see some 24/7s or some all accesses like shit's actually happening. Like,
until they announce a press tour, I'm not thinking it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
But I always want it to happen. You know what I mean? And I hold out faith it happens. But you're right.
Let me get to a caller.
All black ski mask, glove, tuck the thing. Ski mask swing.
I still got the black ski mask to throw on.
What up, Ski Mask Joe?
Yo, what up, man?
What up, man?
How's everybody doing?
We all good,
Joe. We good.
How are you?
Always better when Ski Mask joins us.
Hell yeah, you better believe it.
Joe, we're just finishing off Floyd, Chino. What's your thoughts?
Well, honestly, I enjoyed the fight in the first, like, 5 rounds, you know, until the excessive holding. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. You know, Floyd didn't want to lose that hold, so he wanted to win by any means. But I also thought it was kind of retarded that Maidana didn't replicate the same game plan as the first one, man. You know, where he just came out all balls out, you know, just pressure the guy, throw wild shots. Fuck it if they land, fuck it if they don't. But this time I noticed, like, in the mid-round, he wanted to stay in the middle of the ring and just try to box Floyd, which I thought that was fucking retarded, man.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that was retarded. But I kind of, the only time when everybody at the house and when we were watching the fight, that everybody got hyped was like almost like at the ending of the third round, where he gets caught with that nice clean punch.
Yeah.
And that Pacquiao punch, and he was just stumbling back to his corner. I think everybody enjoyed that shit.
That was the best bit of the fight.
Yeah. It just goes to show, man, that motherfucker got a chin, if you think about it, because
we haven't spoke about that.
Would have been knocked the fuck out. I mean, if that round probably would have been, like, longer, like, if it would have happened earlier, maybe we would have seen Floyd go down, you know?
If that round was like a 4-minute round from Golovkin and Gill.
Hey, did you see Floyd's face after the fight, man? He was pretty his nose was busted.
Yeah, he was mad.
His lip was busted.
I think
I've
his
never
nose.
seen Floyd look like that.
I think his nose and lip was busted from that punch, though.
Yeah, it might have been
that
one,
punch.
but he was pretty lit up.
And his fingers too.
that punch was definitely, that was nearly a Mosley moment. You know what I mean? Like, if there was another minute, because the way he acted after it, you could definitely, he was rocked. And then round 4 was his worst round, so maybe he was recovering in round 4, because he did, the first minute or so in round 4, he didn't really punch. He was just keeping his hands up and on the ropes, and you know what I mean, keep moving. He didn't really do a lot. He was definitely rocked.
No, yeah, he was definitely. And you saw, I think the guy said it best in the Boxing Voice yesterday. Dude had the crip walk to his stool. Those 2 steps were long 2 steps for Floyd. But he has. I don't think he would have been finished. I mean, Floyd's got a great chin. He's just so smart and composed. He would have found a way out of it. And I mean, no one gives him credit for his chin because you rarely see him get caught a lot. But whenever he's been hit, he hasn't gone anywhere.
That's a good point.
Yeah, man, but the other thing that's kind of trippy is that how everybody now is giving Floyd shit, you know, why would they fight Maidana, this and that. But everybody needs to remember, man, that everybody wanted Maidana to fight Floyd because he beat Broner. So I don't want to hear all this fucking bullshit where people were like, oh, well, why did he pick Maidana? You know, all this bullshit. Nah, fuck that. We all knew that fucking Maidana beat Broner, and Broner was the closest thing to Floyd, supposedly, in everybody's eyes, in the media's eyes, you know. And that's how he got the fight, you know. He even though Khan won the poll, we all know that Floyd was probably going to go for that one because it was more money to be made, especially with the, Hispanic crowd, you know. So I hate when people start talking shit about, you know, why did Floyd pick this fight, you know. But it is what it is, man. And as
whatever, ski mask. Whatever. Huh? You had your fucking ski mask on last night with this bullshit ass fight. Talking about you enjoyed it. He said, he really said he enjoyed it for the first 5 rounds. Yo.
You know what I think though? I think Joe was eating at the time, so he's enjoying the food more than the fight.
Oh, he had his mask on and he was part of the robbery with Floyd and TMT.
Yeah, man. I told Bayless to keep the money down, you know. Yo, man, but I'm sick and tired of this motherfucker Khan, man. I mean, sorry, Cam, but
why does everyone apologize to me like he's my brother or something?
Like he's saying shit.
Like Cam's his brother or some shit, right? The Queen Khan's getting it. I hope he does, man. But I don't want to see him fight. I don't want to ever see him fight Mayweather, man. This guy's just oh man, he's just so annoying every time I see him in the fucking interviews. I think I could defeat Floyd, this and that. And then there's an interview with him and Andre Berto where they compare who's the fastest ones with the jabs or whatever. And Berto sometimes faster. So come on, man, are you serious? If Berto's faster than you want to fight Floyd? Get the fuck out of here, man. They have speed competitions. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Cam, defend yourself, Cam. Defend your boy.
They need to work on that defense.
The thing about me, Nessa.
I'd rather see him fight Kell Brook, and then he's over here talking about, well, we don't know what extent Kell Brook's fucking injury is. You know, he got stabbed. I mean, fuck it if he got stabbed, but if he could fight, man, fucking fight him, dude. That's bigger. I think that would generate as much, probably equal amount in money, in revenue for him than he would in a Floyd, because we know that Floyd's going to get the bigger pay cut. Amir Khan's probably just going to get 2 million, 3 million.
Yeah, Khan would definitely get more money with Kell Brook because it'll be in pounds, and obviously the conversion is, you know.
Yeah, he would get at least £5 million.
Yeah, that's like $8.5 million. So he's not going to make that with Floyd.
Fuck no.
No, the problem. He thinks the Brook fight will be there after when he loses to Floyd though. That's why he thinks he can make 2 paydays. But obviously, if he fought Brook first and he lost, that Mayweather fight's never there. So that's why he keeps begging for the Floyd fight. But I just hope, man, Pacquiao, man. Because if it's not Pacquiao, it will be Khan. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I think they don't. I'd love to see Thurman, to be honest.
It's gonna be Peter Quillen. It's gonna be Peter Quillen in May.
If it's Khan, I think Khan flops worse than this fight's gonna do at the box office.
I think the box office wise,
it's gonna be Peter Quillen. Peter Quillen's gonna fight Daniel Jacobs in January. Get that
win the paper title.
Yep. Get that fake WBA regular. and then Floyd gonna talk about he making history. Only Sugar Ray Robinson did it. Yada yada yada.
Yeah. Hey Ness, can I say one thing about Quillen? I know it's off topic, Cam, but I watched your interview. It was a great interview. But when he was saying, he's not taking the fight, but then he was saying he's not fighting again till 2015. So why are you turning down the fight then? If you're not going to fight anyone around that time, then you're basically leaving wherever that money is. You're leaving it on the table. You're not going to fight instead. Basically, there's no excuse. You know
I didn't understand you. What you mean? He said he's not fighting until 2015 because he pulled out of this fight. But if he would have kept this fight, he would have had the fight before 2015.
That's what I'm saying. And then you would fight again in 2015. His excuse is basically bullshit. He's basically just been told. You know what I mean? Heyman's basically told him like, yeah, you can't work with them. You know what I mean? They're trying to do something. We're trying to shut them down, basically.
Oh yeah. Well, it was obvious that Heyman had something to do with that. I mean, you heard. I went about it every which way I could to see what he would give us, but
he would just get irritated, right?
he went crazy.
Hell yeah, yo, my man, like seriously.
He went crazy with the whole thing about like Triple G not being the real champ. I couldn't believe him. He was delusional.
Yeah, that bit pissed me off because he was chatting shit. He was basically acting like he's done the same thing Triple G did. Was big difference because Fletcher's not as good as Gil, so Triple G gave us a better fight. You know what I mean? Because Gil's legit top 10, but Fletcher, everyone knew that was going to be an easy win, as Jacob shown. So that excuse was bullshit. Yeah, definitely.
You know who else was fucking delusional? Fucking Virgil Hunter giving that fucking whack ass advice.
Oh
man, he should have just fucking threw in that towel, man.
I was saying it, man. I can't. Like, I realize now with Hunter, like every time he's in the corner, he's not giving these guys technical advice. He's just like pleading to them, begging to them to do something. He's like, please, you gotta do it.
He should have just took Old Yellow in the back with a fucking shotgun and just put him to sleep, put him out of his misery.
Yeah, he's just trying to motivate them, but he's not giving them technical advice how to actually change the fight.
Yo, what fighter? How awful did Berto look? And Angulo's looked awful. Khan's looked unimpressive. Like, yo, enough. This guy won Trainer of the Year. Like, yo, the only difference between any one of us and Virgil Hunter is that Virgil Hunter had to be in a PAL when Andre Ward came walking in. Otherwise, we'd be the same motherfucker, man.
Yeah, man. Now I'm kind of scared for Marquez, man. If he does get that Johnny rematch, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Guys, let me just go to the lines.
Nah. Listen, man. The people with discipline, they have been successful with Virgil Hunter. Even Berto, if you want to call the Upshaw win successful, you got to keep in mind that in the Karras fight, he lost one arm. He lost the use of one arm. So we just don't know if it was the same Berto or if Virgil Hunter was a bad trainer. He lost his arm. Like, we can hate Berto, we can hate Virgil Hunter, but he lost his arm. So it's not even a real fight. Like, Karras got to look good, but you can't really assess that fight. So with Amir Khan,
but Ness,
he kind of made him disciplined, man.
Ness, how bad did Berto look versus a bum that he was supposed to be spectacular against?
He looked bad because he didn't know what else to do besides go for the knockout. That's the problem. But he looked good, yo. Don't act like he ain't look good. Like, the dude just had a solid fucking face because he was hitting him. I mean, again, I didn't see it on TV. I seen it live, but from what I was seeing, Berto was hitting him with everything.
Berto was losing early rounds. And the thing is, I give Hunter credit because he got Berto to buy in, do a little holding when he needs to, and he took away the shoulder roll. And so anybody who got him to take away that shoulder roll, I'm like, all right, at least Berto's listening to the guy.
Right.
Yeah, I think that they're all listening. I mean, look at Abner Morris. He was a lot more patient. He got a good win. And Amir Khan, you know, I may hate him all I want, but he's also improved on some things. You know, in the first Molina fight, that was expected. He had just got with Virgil, so he was still getting hit with the left hook. In the Diaz fight, he got hit with it less. He did go down, but he got hit with it less. And then look, versus a good guy in Collazo, he took him apart. So, I mean, and again, with Mares and who else he's got over there? Andre didn't lose. He had the Freddie Hernandez fight with training Andre. And
he's got Gonzalez, right?
Gonzalez lost to Gil, but, you know, you heard my interview with him. They had like 4 or 5 weeks for that. He wasn't 100%, but no excuses. That's a loss, but, you know, I'm not ready to give up on Virgil Hunter or any of those fighters, you know, except for Angulo. He's done. But did you guys hear that Kirkland and Rosado is happening?
Yeah, the B-Hop undercard.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be on the undercard for Bernard Hopkins.
The B-Hop undercard, right?
Yo, you guys think Rosado can make that weight comfortably?
Is that 154?
156.
Oh, yeah, he got that.
You think so?
What did he just fight at? Like 60 what? 60?
160. Didn't he fight at 160 in BKB?
Yeah, and then he fought Charlo at 54, right?
Yeah, I think he'll make the weight.
He'll make the weight.
I'm not a fan of Rosado, but
he's a big guy,
at all of Rosado, but he's a professional. He always comes in on weight.
Yeah, and he relocated to Las Vegas and everything. So, you know, he's been taking his career serious ever since he started getting prime television frequently, which was way back sometime maybe the year before last when he was on NBC Sports Network. And he's been serious. Win or lose, he's been serious. And he even got surgery. That's how serious he is. He got surgery to remove that fucked up skin on his eyes. So that's another thing. We might have a good version of Rosado. Plus, he's coming in off the high. Because if you follow him on Instagram, you know he really think he's some type of champion with that BKB belt. So he might, we might get a real fight. We might get a real fight with this Kirkland shit.
Hey, honestly, man, like I've always called Angulo a bum, but I wanted to see that rematch more than anything. Angulo versus Rosado rematch, you know, but Angulo's fucking done, so that'll never happen anymore.
But what's happening?
Is Rosado,
you never know. You never
Rosado
know.
was doing some work with at the Garcia gym before the BKB
Yeah,
fight.
that's the thing I was gonna say, man. I don't like it when fighters do that shit, when they move around like camps every 2 weeks. That's what Rosado's been doing. He's got like that Jesse guy as a trainer, and then he's got Billy Briscoe as his trainer. He's got like 3 guys in his corner, man.
He actually left
Jesse
Briscoe.
Doesn't Jesse work at the Garcia gym, and that's why he was there?
Jesse Reed. Jesse Reed, right?
Yeah, he's got a gym up in Glendale.
The same guy that trains Malik Scott, right?
No, Goosen trains Malik, doesn't he?
Yeah, Goosen trains Malik. Jesse Reed has another gym. The only reason why I know is because Ellie goes to his gym sometimes.
Yo, isn't Jesse Reed the dude that curses a lot? He's an old white man.
Yeah, with the slick back hair.
Yeah, man, he trains Malik Scott. I don't know what the hell.
No. But Malik is another one of those guys, man, that just jumps from gym to gym to gym. You know what I mean? He's like a John Molina, again, these guys who just don't have one trainer.
Yeah, but I think it's good for Gabe, yo. I'm going to tell you why I think it's good for Gabe, because you got to understand the mentality of a Philly fighter. These Philly fighters, they come from, you know, like the same type of doghouse shit. That's how it is in Philly, too. That's why all them dudes are so tough and slick, because they stay in the pocket, though. So Rosado needed to get away from that because that shit wasn't always effective. It was effective versus the Carras fight. It was good in the Quillen fight, but it was kind of 50-50 in that Love fight, and that's why he was able to get robbed. Because that all them Philly fighters, the first thing they learn is inside fighting, and that's where Rosado's good. But if he starts to take a look at himself, he's actually successful from the outside. If you look at the Vera fight, that's also from the outside. If you look at the J. Leon Love knockdown, that was also from the outside. You know, he's just catching people with that right hand. He leads with that right, and he's most successful. I think that he needs to move around, too, and get some real sparring, man, because honestly, who's he sparring in Philly that's at 154, 160? Like, I know for a fact he was sparring fucking Cornflake LaManna. Like, come on. Like, okay, every now and then.
Cornflake is an internet legend, man.
I don't know if he's a legend, bro. I know that I've seen him live numerous times, and honestly, his family, you know, they might as well send death threats to me and Vic just because we had an opinion. He needs a new trainer, but that's a whole nother topic. The point is, every now and then he does get sparring with Bernard, and he works with in full camps with Bernard. But I think it's
Ness,
good.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's the first thing I thought when Rosado got announced to this fight. Was that he was going to just jump in on Bernard's camp because him and B-Hop got a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, they show up at fights together, and And you know what I'm saying? Like he's Bernard's guest, you know what I mean, at times and stuff. So
that's a good point though, Ness, regarding the sparring that you get out in the West Coast, because ever since I moved out to New York, I noticed like the sparring that you get on the coast are completely different. You know, you get the Mexican, the West Coast that give you that Kirkland style, and you're right, he's not going to be able to kind of adapt to that style if he keeps training.
He needs it. Listen, right now, Robert Garcia or anywhere on the West is best for him because Kirkland comes forward. So he needs sparring that comes forward. If he comes out here, he's going to get slick fighters, and, that ain't what he's going to be in.
Oh, that's a good point, man.
Well, Rubio's training for a fight right now. Rubio's training at Garcia's camp. They both got fights coming up around the same time.
Yeah. Garcia's training everybody, yo.
Hey, honestly though, I mean, did you guys touch upon like Garcia's performance on Saturday?
Now go ahead. We mentioned it.
I don't want to talk about Garcia's performance only because I think that we didn't get enough corner footage.
They didn't give us any footage in the corners. That was awful.
Sure. But can't we say something just based upon the fight that Maidana fought?
Well, you don't know if he's telling his fighter to adjust or change, and he's just not fucking listening.
Yeah, I mean that's fair and all, but I mean just what I saw from Maidana when he tried to outbox Mayweather in the middle rounds, like I have a hard time believing a part of that isn't Garcia's fault.
And Dan, even out on the jump, like I expected him to come right across the ring. He stood right in the middle of the ring, and he didn't throw more than 5 punches in the first minute of the fight. And right away, I'm like, he's playing chess with a chess player. Like, what's going on?
It was bullshit, man. It was fucking bullshit.
But Dan, have you got any more thoughts about the Mayweather fight? Because I just want to get to King Jay as well.
Yeah, other than that one sentence, it was the worst card. It was the worst pay-per-view card I've ever seen, man. Like, I took out, well, I didn't see the fight live, but I did end up, catching like the last 2 rounds at a bar. And, pretty much all my casual friends, like, they were like, this shit is like wrestling, man. Like, how the fuck do you watch this shit? You know.
Hard to justify.
It was a sad day for me in boxing on Saturday night. But yeah, go to King Jay, man.
Alright, let me just find his intro, wherever it's gone.
Long live the king of all kings. And we say, long live the king! Long live the king!
What up?
Yo, what up, fellas? What up?
What up, Jay?
I'm gonna tell you what's bullshit. Nostradamus' picks. That's what's bullshit.
Hey, Jay, are you Kevin Horn on Twitter?
What's up?
I just thought it was funny. Ness confused Kevin with you yesterday on the show, man.
He's always calling us brothers and shit, too.
I know.
Yeah, but yo, I think he is Juan Corral, like Ness was asking.
Yeah, that's me.
Juan Corral, right?
He's throwing your government all over the place.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Ness? I'm gonna sue you and get the fucking boxing voice.
Yo, Nessus fell off, but King Javan, what were your thoughts on the fight?
Man, I thought that was fucking bullshit, man. I looked like a fucking idiot on Saturday. Telling everybody, yo, man, this fight's gonna be good as fuck. You know, the first fight was good. And then, man, dude, I was at my boy's house and shit, and there was a shitload of people, cause it was his birthday, and I was like, dude, order the fight, man. This shit's gonna be good as fuck. And he's like, man, I don't fucking pay money for Mayweather. I fucking hate him and this and that. I was like, dude, who gives a fuck about Mayweather? It's gonna be a good ass fight, man. Pay for this shit. And he fucking ordered it, and he did not want to order it, man. And then, like, in the 7th round, he gave me that look like, you motherfucker, you owe me $75.
You better start saving, King Jay.
It was fucking so bad that they were playing bags and shit and drinking that I think, like, in the 8th round, everybody just got up and they fucking went outside, and I was just sitting there by my lonely self like, man.
Have any of you guys ran it on Kenny Bayless yet?
Oh, I was about to go in on his bitch ass.
I mean, has anyone else though?
Nah.
We mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, we did a bit earlier.
Yeah.
What I say, you must obey, fellas.
He changed the total outcome of that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand, dude. Like yesterday, I mean, shout out to, of course, the Boxing Voice. I listened to the whole show this morning, but like the way people justify holding in boxing is just absolutely insane to me. Like, I mean, of course, it's a lesser infraction than maybe headbutting, but the thing is, it accumulates. You know, people were using that dumbass analogy about like it being like a speeding ticket, right? But once you get 20, 30, or 40 speeding tickets, that eventually turns into a felony, right? So once you accumulate all of these small infractions, it should become like a greater evil, and you should be fucking penalized for it, man.
Yeah, that's what Ken was trying to say earlier.
And the way Bayless was anticipating Maidana, his clinches, that's Maidana's greatest asset, is fighting on the inside. And he's basically stopping his momentum on getting in a range. Like, that's Maidana's entire fucking, like, arsenal right there. It's fucking bullshit, man.
Dude, it's, you know, how bad was it? Like you just said, Lim, like he was literally waiting for the clinch. Like, he didn't even give no fuck what else was going on. Like, as soon as he seen them, like, 2 feet away from each other, he was fucking already there, ready to break that shit up, man.
Yeah. He really is
that was bullshit, man.
Like,
that was bullshit.
My God.
He warned Floyd about the fucking elbow, right? Oh, wow, I'm going to take some points. And, like, literally 20 seconds later, he literally pushed Maidana with the fucking elbow, like, literally extended him right in front of him, dude.
Sure.
And I was just like, what the fuck? You know, like, he's going to fucking take the point. Like, dude, that was right in front of him. And fucking Bayless didn't even give no fuck, dude. Like, it was just bullshit, man. If people wanted to complain about my boy Amir Khan holding, fucking Floyd just raped the shit out of that rule.
No one can shit on Khan now. No one can shit on Khan.
Sorry to get off topic, guys, but there was a caller on the show who talked about having sex with Sam Watson's girlfriend.
I don't know what he was talking about.
That guy's story had no point. Like, I didn't understand the guy's point. The point to the story.
I thought he was saying that
story.
Watson was a swinger or something.
I don't know.
Listen to that story.
The point was that the guy's a shake. That's it.
Yeah, no, right. He went around with that. I thought he was going to tell me that that girl from Michigan probably fucked Floyd or something.
Oh, no, it was weird. And he was just like, he was like, yeah, she told me not to go there. You know what they do there. I was thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Is it like a swingers party or something?
Yeah. Exactly, man. I was just expecting
is that
her
true?
to
Is that
say,
Lewis?
like, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna get to Lewis, man. Lewis is a bit late, but what's happening in MV2?
Oh, what's happening?
MCQ. What up?
Brother.
My boys.
Hey, Glassman.
Hey, Glassman. You physically burned me.
Yo,
I'll physically burn him, yeah?
Did local Mexicans call you a drunk ass Brit?
Man.
Oh, he called you a Brit.
Oh, man, I don't know what's worse than the fact that he's called me a drunk or a Brit.
Hey, Jew, man, you can't leave us, man, please.
Nah, mate, it's not up to me, mate. It's up to the two people.
Go. Come on, Jew, we need your oil.
Be personally on my country.
Yo,
I don't have any.
Chew, your mic noise is a bit low. Can you just get a bit closer to the mic or something?
It's usually I'm too close to the mic.
Yeah, you got bad range. You're either too far or too close.
Yeah, I've thumbed up, bro.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You're kind of like Maidana. You're kind of like Maidana, Chew. You're always out of range.
But yo, Chew, what's your thoughts on the Floyd fight before we move on? And we got to get to Chad as well. But yeah, go on, Chew.
It's funny, even in the rounds that Floyd was winning, Maidana was still putting hands on him, I thought. And more so than even the first fight, but yet Maidana didn't win as many rounds in the first fight. It was a strange fight, man. There was a round 6 it was, where Floyd looked fucking amazing. I thought he was just, you know, that thing that Floyd does where he just rolls with the punches, and you know, that kind of woo, that kind of that turn of the shoulders that he does. He done it awesomely in round 6, but at the end of round 3, Maidana caught him as clean as anyone I've ever seen catch Floyd. And actually, at the end of the round, Maidana kind of looked back, like in disbelief. Did I actually catch him there? Then he hurt him. He hurt Floyd, but you know, Floyd's got a great chin. He just kind of shrugged that shit off, man. But yeah.
Hey, Chu, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Do you know the size of Maidana's glove in that fight? And let me also ask you, you think if he used 8-ounce horsehair gloves, you think he would have been able to drop Floyd with that punch?
Nah, to be honest, if you couldn't, I don't know, man. You know better than me, but I don't really. I think the glove thing is overrated, overstated. I don't think the glove really affects the punch that much, man. It's just like a comfort.
Wow.
You know, it's like a placebo. You think you hit harder with certain gloves, but it's not really, man. It's not. I don't think the cushion or the padding has got much effect, man. But yeah, man.
I think it has more to do with you being comfortable because you always fought with those gloves your whole career.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Something else, and you think you don't throw as good, so it fucks up your mind, I guess.
What do you think about Kenny Bayless's involvement in the fight and his impact, if any?
He should change his name from Kenny Bayless to Kenny Bias. That's what I think. The fact that Floyd was initiating all the holding and he's warning Maidana is something, but you've got to respect. It's like, I think it was Kev Horn who said this yesterday on the Boxing Voice, that there's a
if it was good, I said it.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Basketball coaches say this. They play mind games with the referees so that the referees give more to that team, and they do that in football, soccer to you guys.
Fergie.
As well, it's like a game they play with the officials to kind of get them to fucking show more bias. But for whatever reason, Floyd doesn't really get the respect for doing that. But I give him respect for that. You've got to play every kind of game you can to get any kind of advantage. And I actually like Floyd more nowadays because he's more exciting. I've actually enjoyed watching the last couple of Floyd fights because he's getting hit more.
But you're giving props for him being a bitch? For him bitching at the refs?
How is he being a bitch though, Dan?
Because he's pleading a case. He's creating a disadvantage from the jump.
No, he's creating an advantage for himself.
Yeah, and that's a disadvantage for obviously Maidana.
Exactly, that's why it's clever.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's fucking commendable.
No, in some Machiavellian shit, you've got to tip his cap and say, congratulations, you got an advantage.
You know what? I know where you're coming from, but to me, that's why I fucking hate boxing nowadays. It's just because Floyd has every single fucking, asset. He's like the poker player with every single, he's holding every fucking card, man. It's insane. I can't, it's like watching wrestling, man. I'm serious. Just the shit that
it's like he's fucking playing poker, and then he's like, hey, but you can't use the king or the queen, alright?
No, but you guys are missing the point. He's an old guy now. He's 57.
He's just fucking everybody over.
Hey, what does that have to do with anything, Shu?
Alright, what physically he can't do, he can do with his status that he's earned as a young man. So he's got the status now.
My man. They shouldn't be, interchangeable, you know what I mean?
Listen, in all's fair in love and war, boxing is life. People do this. People fucking do some devilish, backhanded kind of shit to get any kind of advantage, and Floyd is the essence of that. He will do whatever it takes to win. He's the Ric Flair of boxing. Everybody loves Ric Flair, man.
No, that's not true, man.
I respect him for his will to win.
Okay, that's fair. But again, I think you're speaking in very abstract terms right now. You just said boxing is life. I mean, everything is life. Boxing is also a sport, and there are rules and guidelines that are separate from life that make it a sport. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly, Lim. Dude, if you think about it, how fucking ridiculous is it, dude? If we literally think about it, this guy has more power than the fucking boxing commission. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, dude.
It's like in basketball, dude. If two teams played and the other said, we're going to play in our home court for all 7 games, you have to wear these type of shoes. You got to wear a certain dress code. It's just fucking crazy, man. It's
and just to finish it off, our team can travel and yours can't. All right. What the fuck?
I think Floyd is like M. Bison. He's the last level boss in Street Fighter 2, and
you're fucking crazy.
How come you started liking Floyd a lot?
I don't know why I've just got this kind of. I don't like him for the fact that he never fights Pacquiao and everybody copies him now. But in the ring, he's like, who can beat him? Who's going to be the one who beats someone every time? I was picking against Floyd.
I know who's going to beat him. He even said it.
Triple G.
He said the only person who could beat him. He said the only person who could beat him is himself.
Or Lomachenko when he moves up.
That's deep.
Answer me one question, V2, because I hear you talking.
Yep, go for it.
That event good for boxing?
Wow.
Is Floyd good for boxing?
He's the king of the sport. He's good. He's carrying the sport. He's the king of the sport. Was that fight and that good for? Because I already talked about Jay had to leave his party. 3 people leave my party in the fight.
Kev, you're sounding like Floyd when he's trying to read.
Yeah, you got bad line, Kev.
Yeah,
So people were at your party and they left because the fight was so shit?
Yeah, basically that's what he was getting to, yeah. Basically that's what he meant, yeah.
The undercard was shit. The fight itself I thought was actually not bad.
Fuck, no, the main fight was shit,
man. Yo, honestly, that was one of the worst cards I've ever seen, man. Like,
I agree.
Nah, the Mickey Bay one was worse, man.
Dude, this pay-per-view was worse, I swear, and I thought I'd never say that, than fucking Rios and Pacquiao.
Yeah, everything that's bad. You had a shot fighter losing. You had a fight that put everyone to sleep. Well, he gave me a nice nap, and then they had a champion beating up on a guy that shouldn't even be sparring with him.
You guys notice how Ollie always mentions up every time he goes to sleep during a fight?
No, I had to say it this time because I fell asleep. Nice.
Fucking Leon Santa Cruz route Salka that dude, right? In the fucking second round.
Hey guys, the question was directed towards Lewis, so let the man have his shine.
Floyd is the money maker, you know. You need him to be strong. I would take who's going to fill that hole when Floyd goes?
Canelo.
I really don't care. There's going to be way more better fights than once he leaves. I really don't give a fuck. I'm not one of these guys that, he's good for the sport. I don't give a fuck about him, man. Fuck him. As soon as he leaves, I'm going to see fights that I want to see. So I don't give a fuck if he's here or not. Him or Pacquiao.
Yo, honestly, like, I used to say that shit too, man, but I don't know. I don't know, Lewis. What do you think?
All right, just one last thing before we go to Chad. Chad is on the line also. I just think that Floyd is going to be one of these guys you don't really appreciate until he's gone. And Chad, for example, Maidana's stock has went up a lot. So whoever Maidana fights next, he's going to attract a lot of casual fan attention. He's just one of these guys, you know what I mean, where every guy that he fights, they get a little bit of shine, you know. I just wish that Floyd would fight guys like Keith Furman or whatever. Give them the shine.
I think a lot of Maidana's popularity is going to be based upon how many pay-per-view buys the second fight does. Because that is a real indicator of how many casual fans actually...
The thing is, though, they're not going to release them, Dan. That's the problem. The figures.
And what I'm saying is, just judging from, all the reports, the ticket sales, and, just the basic buzz of this fight, I think it might have done less than the first one.
Yeah, I think it's definitely done less.
One bit. And if we go off that logic, Maidana clearly hasn't gotten that much bigger, just based off that Mayweather fight. But
yeah, that's a good point. Let me quickly get to Chad. Chad, are you there?
Of course. Mr. Conspiracy Man.
Chad, are you there?
My lord.
All right, we're going to...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Chad.
Chad, what's up, bro?
Hey. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, Chad. Good. What do you want to talk about, Floyd? Chino?
Oh, yeah. Well, can I go off on, I guess the Floyd Manny subject?
Go ahead.
I think that Floyd holds all the cards, obviously. I mean, everything could go as planned as far as Bob Arum talking to both of the networks, but I just don't think Floyd wants to fight Manny. I mean, he has every excuse in the book. I mean, people seem to think, because of the post-fight I guess, interview with Jim Gray, that, I mean, that's an indication that the fight's going to happen. But, I mean, until Floyd, says yes, I mean, it's not going to happen. This guy's been running away from Manny, has had so many excuses. Doesn't even matter if Manny fought him for free. I just think Floyd's going to fight who he wants to fight, and that's the end of it. And it just, it really pisses me off because, I mean, like Dan was saying, I mean, he's got every advantage in the book. I mean, and we give him the power by buying these pay-per-views. And, I mean, I was watching this fight with my dad, and he was so, pissed off. I mean, he really ruined the night for me because he was just saying, I knew Floyd was going to run. I knew Floyd was going to do this. And, I mean, we know he's going to do certain things. That's his game plan. But, I mean, as far as, having every advantage, the gloves, if Floyd said that Maidana had no power, then why would Floyd even attempt to take the gloves that Maidana wanted? It's just, Floyd's so full of excuses. He's got more double standard than Ness at times. It's just, I don't understand it. I mean, what's y'all's take on it?
I mean, I can't stand it. I mean, look, there's both parties are to blame for this fight not happening. But in the past year or so, I think it's pretty much all Mayweather. You got to sign a TMT. You got tax problems, so I can't fight you. What else is it? Oh, Manny, he I don't need to fight him next. We have our own legacies. Like, I'm going to build my own legacy. You're suffering from the Marquez chaos still. Yeah, you're not your own boss. Like, that fucking matters. Like, come on, dude.
But guys, look, if you know,
the Flomo comes on. Tell us what you think.
No. It's not even about that. I want to ask a simple question. If Maidana's coming to this fight and he knows Floyd is gonna run, right? What the fuck has that got to do with your gloves or what? He's the best runner. What do you have to do? I'll be the best ring cutter. He didn't do none of that.
Okay, and then what did Mayweather do to combat that? He got Kenny Bayless under his payroll.
Okay, if someone's holding you, right? Why can't you just go slip down, and get out, just slip down? That's what you have to do.
That's fair, but like we said before,
no. There's no fair. He didn't do none of that, Lim. Right? He didn't do none of that.
Dude, this is way different. This is a different case, man. Like, if this is not like a Canelo Lara type of shit, They had a neutral ref, man. Like, you can blame the running on Lara and the now initiating contact all on Lara on that, man. But in this case, man, like, the chance that Maidana would cut the ring off and get close to him, Floyd Mayweather would fucking hug him, or Kenny Bayless was there to interrupt the exchange, man. So there's no, why didn't Maidana do this? Dude, Maidana literally tried doing everything he fucking could, and it didn't happen.
I mean, I kind of disagree with that. Like I said, I think Maidana had a shit-ass fucking game plan, and he wasn't aggressive enough, and he didn't throw enough punches. But regardless, even when Maidana had those instances of being close and being in range, like I said before, Kenny Bayless would just anticipate the clinch and break him up and stop the action.
Yeah, well, yes, that's what I tried to, like, when he would get his chance, like, it was fucking cut off, so he was short,
Yeah, Chad, is there anything else?
There was literally 4 or 5 times he jumped in thinking a clinch was going to happen,
and it didn't happen. He had to jump out. Like, it was bad, man.
Did you see the balls of Maidana when he would push Bayless, like, the fuck out the way already? Like, once the clinch was done, like, you fucking swing at his arm.
Yo, guys, did you guys touch upon the bite?
No, we didn't really talk about it, to me.
Hey, my bad. I'll let Chad finish, though.
No, but what do you want to say?
Oh, no, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say about the bite.
Because I literally, right now, I have a Cleto Reyes 8-ounce glove on my right hand right now, and I just bit it pretty much as hard as I could, and my fingers got a little bit numb, but they're not too bad. I can only imagine if I had, obviously the tape and the gauze doesn't extend all the way to the fingers, but
the gum shield
if I'm being bitten by a mouth with a mouth guard, I know the mouth guard is only for the top, portion of your teeth, but it wouldn't fucking numb my fingers.
Yeah, he was being a bitch, man. He was being a bitch. But...
And for fucking 4 rounds to make it worse, Lim.
Yep.
Yo, I got my fingers cut off on a meat slicer, My fingertips, 2 of them, and my hand didn't go numb. His hands didn't go numb.
That's dangerous, Kevin.
Yeah, it was bad. I was on a slicer that broke. I was only like 13, and my fingernails came right off with the fingertips.
Yeah, Chad. Hey, but Chad, did you have any interesting responses regarding your comments last week?
I have something else to say about the fight. I mean, I was at the barbershop, obviously, and getting my hair cut. And, I was talking to these I was talking to these 2 black guys, right? About Floyd Mayweather. And, a lot of, races support their own race, right? In whatever they do, which is great. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Well, a lot of races support their own race as far as, you have the British fighter, obviously their people are going to get behind him, with Kell Brook and stuff like that.
I really don't like Khan.
Yeah, well, on some things, I guess it depends on the personality, and I was having a discussion with these guys. They knew nothing about Floyd's career at all. But their only excuse was, their only argument was, oh, he's getting money. And it's just crazy to me that they have no, recollection about Floyd's career. But, on the other hand, they just support Floyd and his behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't agree with it. I don't understand how, Floyd could basically have this following, this backing, and half of them not know anything that he's done in his career.
Let me jump in. I think it's a lot of people just like his lifestyle, they see the cars, they see the women, they see the money he's got, and like a lot of young guys kind of associate themselves to that kind of lifestyle. So it's not whether they like his boxing, they just like the way he flosses and like, the way he balls and like, in my opinion, that's what it is.
The bitch is rolling up the weed, baby.
But yo, Chad, we need to get to other people. So thanks for calling, Chad. Sorry if we cut you a bit short, but yeah, time's getting on, and we still got a lot to talk about.
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right, thank you, Chad. Guys, let me just try to get to Nota quick so we can move on from Floyd, because I don't want to come back to Floyd again, because sometimes the show goes back and forth, and we still got loads to cover. But while Nota's answering the phone, Chew, is there any other... Nota, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Nota, we just want to finish on Floyd, so just talk about whatever.
All right. Well, I mean, Floyd did his job. He did pretty much what he had to do in the fight. The one who really didn't play his role, that really didn't fulfill his role, in making the fight a good fight, really was more Maidana, to be honest with you. I mean, people talking about this and that about Floyd running or whatever, but Maidana ran his ass down the first fucking fight. This fight, he was almost trying to pull like some Mikey Garcia shit and pull Floyd into counters and try to knock him out, it seemed to me. It seemed more like he was intent on trying to knock Floyd out as opposed to winning a points decision. So his volume went way down, and he was trying to... He was basically trying to counterpunch the counterpuncher, and he actually did really successfully a few times. That big right hand that landed at the end of the third round, that was a nice pull counter, man. That shit was beautiful. The way he did it. That was like the way Floyd normally does it. There was several times, as a matter of fact, in that third and the fourth round, where he actually out-jabbed Floyd, or he would feint a jab. Floyd would take the bait, Maidana would counter, and he'd duck and roll under the counter shot that Floyd was throwing. So that shit was nice, man. It was really beautiful stuff. The only thing is he didn't, like, once he had done that, he really should have just, thrown the volume way up, or at least mixed in a lot of that volume with some of the boxing that he was doing, because he was flummoxing Floyd. He had Floyd's volume way down too in a lot of those rounds. So I mean, really, a lot of it just had to do with Maidana not necessarily fulfilling his role. If I remember right, I believe I had the first fight a draw when I had scored it live. This fight I had at 115, 112 in the end. Well, of course, with the point deduction for the biting thing. But even with all the fouls and everything, they were both fouling and stuff. Floyd was kind of doing that shit that Diego Chavez was doing with Rios. You know, he was covering up his face with his glove, like either trying to lace him or, you know, suffocate him or whatever it was. You know, the fact is retaliation is going to happen and stuff like that. And the point that Bayless took away after the fact for like that elbow shit that he did, I mean, I could kind of see that, but at the same time, he was kind of still just doing a lot of the same stuff that Floyd was doing. So it was fairly even on both sides, man. But, you know, Floyd did a good job. He did pretty much what he had to do. And, I mean, there's only a couple of major flaws I see in Floyd's game that I could imagine another, like, top welterweight being able to exploit and beat him simply because Maidana was able to a certain degree. The only thing is I think Maidana's a lot more skilled than people are giving him credit for. You know, a lot of those pull counters and shit that he did against Floyd, I don't think many other fighters could really pull off. I mean, I'm not even sure if somebody like a Thurman could pull that off. I mean, if he could, I'd give him a definite chance to KO Floyd. But even he, I think, is a little too back foot heavy for my liking. You know, he's not the type to really press you. And with Floyd, you really got to press somebody. What's up? What's up?
Did you like how Maidana played out with the defense, man? Because I thought his defense was pretty fucking good this fight.
Yeah, and you know, it really was. You know, just like I said a little while ago, with the whole thing where it's like he would jab and then he would duck and roll under Floyd shots. He had Floyd missing a lot, man. Floyd usually doesn't miss like that. There were several times where Floyd swung wide as fuck.
Straight rights.
Yep, exactly. He missed like crazy on Maidana a grip of times, and you know, I think that's really more a case. I think a lot of the people that are saying, "Oh, Floyd is slowing down," I think there's a little bit of truth to that. But I think a lot of that had to do with what Maidana was doing to him too. You know, he was kind of spoiling the spoiler a little bit with the style that he brought in there.
Thanks for that note. Let me quickly get to my boy Mao Alpha. Finished late.
What's up? What's up?
Mao, what happened to your boy Chino? What was he doing, man? What was his game plan?
I don't know, man. I expected him to be more active, you know, and I think he was, you know, trying to get the distance right and, you know, trying to land. I don't know if the perfect shot, but I think that he tried to be more accurate than in the first fight, because in the first fight he did good. I mean, he did better than most Floyd past opponents. But I don't know. I think that he should have been more active. But you know, at least I'm happy with the shot that he caught Floyd at the end of the third round. I think that's the kind of shot that you never see Floyd getting stunned with, or you don't even see him getting hit by that type of shot. And I was really surprised about that. But you know, after that, there was all Floyd. I mean, I don't know what Maidana was trying to do. I think that, like Jay and Nauta was saying, his defense was really good. Because I was thinking that, you know, all the previous opponents, Mayweather always hit him with, you know, several shots, and even against Canelo's face at the end of the fight didn't look, you know, that, you know, really good. I mean, you could see that he had, you know, several bruises all over his face, and Maidana was okay. So I think that he did a good job, but it still was a decisive victory for Mayweather. I don't think that it was an easy victory, an easy win for him, but because I think that he had to work for getting that win. But I don't know. Let's see what Maidana, if he decides to keep fighting, or he goes back to a Broner rematch, and what Mayweather tries to do, because all the things that I'm hearing is that everyone's agreed that this pay-per-view was not as good as the first one. So I'm really intrigued about what the next steps are for him. So let's see.
Mal, can you see Maidana retiring?
Whoa. Take it easy, Floyd.
I don't know. Maybe, you know, because he said that he wanted to retire if he didn't get a rematch against Floyd. Maybe he was trying to push for a rematch. But I think there are a lot of fights for him. I don't know how much he will get paid if he decides to fight against Thurman or against Brook, or, you know, some of those big names. And so I can see him maybe trying to, I don't know if you could say, pick his opponent or try to get the most money fight for him, because I think that fight will be Broner, because we already saw the first one. We know that Broner is not looking good at 140, or he's not what we thought that he was. And, maybe that fight could be more, be better for him in terms of money. But I really don't know, because there are so many fights for him. I mean, and they're all good. Imagine against Porter. I don't care if he lost against Brook. That's a great fight to see. Even against Khan, the rematch. I don't mind to see that fight, because, Maidana is a good fighter to watch. Same Khan, even if Garcia decides to move up. So there's so many options that I don't think that he will retire. But I think that he will try to choose, the best fight for him.
Yeah, I definitely hope he doesn't retire, because, like you said, there are a lot of great fights out there. Let's move on.
And he's looking better. I mean, he's improving. I mean, we can't deny that. He's not the type of fighter that we thought that he was, that he were. So,
we're talking right now.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to make a good fight?
Sorry, Dan, you keep breaking in and out. What did you say, Dan?
He's signed to Al Heyman. Who is he going to fight? What good fight are we going to see?
I mean, I don't know, because none of these fighters that is signed with Al Heyman is fighting against nobody. So, I mean, I just think that there are fights to be made, and that's
best case scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you say, that's a scenario, but there's the reality, and the truth is that these fighters are not getting matched against each other. We are not seeing that fights, and there is a lot of talent, but that's something that I don't know what is happening.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if they did, there are several. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Maidana versus a Guerrero. I mean, or Maidana versus a Thurman would be better on Maidana versus a Porter, but I'm not sure if that would be likely, even on Maidana's behalf.
There's great talent out there, but the fact of the matter is we're not getting any of them, and it's a fucking, it's a dream to expect any of these good fights. I mean, even Amir Khan, for crying out loud, is fighting Josito.
Well, I mean, to be real, though, I mean, last year a bunch of them happened. This year they haven't. And that's not speaking well for the future necessarily, but I could see it happening again, man. I mean, just the fact that it's so flooded now.
But why? Why do you think it would happen? Why do you think it will happen next year?
Well, because at a certain point, it's going to be return on investment, man. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of return on investment in terms of all these guys being signed, and yet, I mean, who are they really fighting? They got to start knocking each other out of contention, whatever.
That shit is not happening next year, dude. If it didn't happen this year, where everybody started signing Al Heyman, and he could have did some fucking big moves. Fuck no, it's not happening next year, man. How in the fuck are they going to pay
the guy that brought that shit up last
million? The what?
I said in the beginning of the year, like 3 or 4 months in, when people were shitting.
I was talking about Jay. I was talking about Jay, Lynn.
No, I understand. So what are you going to say, Jay?
No, I said, how are they going to pay Broner $10 million? Let's just say, Broner $10 million and Amir Khan another 10, like, to fight each other. That's not even a fucking, it's a shitload of money what they're paying these guys. They're not going to be able to make them fight each other, because now no one's going to fucking fight unless they get $3 million guaranteed. And it's, it's fucking bullshit.
The money is an issue, like what Santa Cruz got. Like, that's an excellent segue to move on to the Santa Cruz fight. Like, what he got against Manuel Roman, like, so he's not going to take anything less than that to come to Belfast or to come to Manchester to fight Quigg or Frampton. So that is a big issue. But let's talk about Leo Santa Cruz. MV2, do we learn anything by this 2-round blowout mismatch against Manuel Roman?
Nah. I mean, Manuel Roman was the same size. It's unusual to see Santa Cruz fighting someone of his own size. But the guy went down so softly. I watched the knockdown again in the second round several times. And it just came out of nowhere, and I didn't even think the punch was that hard, man. I just think the guy was picked from obscurity just to make him Leo Santa Cruz, look good. And I've been high on Leo Santa Cruz in the past, but There must be a reason why he's picking just these guys that no one's ever heard of. I don't know what the reason is. You know, fuck it. Yeah. I don't trust the win. I actually think if he fought Carl Frampton or Scott Quigg even, I think he would lose now. You are what you eat, and if you keep eating bums, you'll turn into a bum.
Yeah, but Quigg fight nothing but bums too.
Yeah, Quigg's a bum eater.
Pause.
But if you say that Leo Santa Cruz, if you can't take anything away from this fight, then why are you like detracting his future performances against other fighters?
Say that again. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk. What? Explain that to me in layman's terms, bro.
I understand your point. They're fighting bums. You don't take anything away from their performance, but then why do you think, why do you think less of them against future opponents now based on this fight?
It's just quality of opposition. He's gonna get a shock when he steps up and finds that superior opponents can A, take his punch, and B, land on him. Because the guys that he's been facing has not been able to hit him clean and take his punch. So he's going to be in a battle the next fight he's in against good opponents. And he's not going to be used to it.
I found it funny, like, how he was kind of calling out Rigo, and he was like, yeah, but I'll let my management take care of it. It's like, yeah, you don't want any part of Rigo. But to be fair, like, Quigg says the same, and Frampton says the same. He's just the elephant in the room when it comes to Rigo. He's just levels ahead of everyone in that division. Everyone just kind of doesn't acknowledge him anymore, almost.
Did you see Quigg's reaction? To when he got asked about Rigo. Oh no, you didn't. You were there live. You didn't see the fight, did you? On TV?
I didn't see his reaction. I heard that it was a bit of a kind of funny reaction.
Yeah, man. The guy asked him. He was talking about Frampton and he was talking about Santa Cruz. Like, yeah, I want one of them two next. And then the announcer guy, the presenter, he said, "What about Rigondeaux?" And Quigg had like a nervous laugh.
Like hell no. He was
like,
next question. All right, guys. Anyone on the line want to talk about this Santa Cruz? If so, be quick because time's going.
Well,
time's quick.
I like the fact that he dispatched him in two, so that it got onto the main event, nice and quick, man.
Yeah, I like that as well. Like,
get your Salka out of there and get that shit out of the way. Pocket that $750,000 and just on to the next one. I like that.
He's definitely getting paid too much though. $750 for that, like, that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah. That's wild, man. That's some Andre Berto type shit right there.
Like $500,000, man.
Say what?
He's getting overpaid by like $500,000.
Yeah.
I mean, for that level of opponent, yeah.
But if no one else wants to say anything, let's move on to the next fight.
Fucking retarded, man.
Let's talk about Angulo and De La Rosa. Achu, I think you saw this as well. Pero, man, like, I thought maybe stepping up would have helped him and give him some energy, but it just didn't seem there was much snap in his punches, especially early on. But what did you think, Chu?
That
was terrible.
Yeah, Rebecca. Nah, fuck knows, man. I just think when he eventually kind of realised that he was losing, he did step up, but it was too late. Every time he went to the body, he done well. He hurt him. But that De La Rosa guy was like a poor man's Lara. But he just shoeshined his way to victory, and it doesn't really matter what Virgil Hunter says in the corner. Just Angulo is just like, he's not listening to the guy. Like, I don't even know if Angulo can really understand Virgil Hunter.
I actually thought that. There was one point where he's like, Alfredo, look at me. And he's like, looks up and he's like, you gotta knock him out. He's like, huh?
Man, it's just, if you need to do that to a guy every time he fights, then A, why are you training him? And B, why is he with him? Clearly there's a problem there if you need to kind of almost physically shake him to wake him up.
Yeah.
So just do him a favour and just tell him to retire because he's not in it. His heart's not in it anymore. Was his heart ever really in it? What is his best win?
Yeah.
What win does he have?
I mean, if you look at his face when he was knocking Yorgi the fuck out, I'd say his heart was in it then.
You know what it is though? It's ever since he cut his hair, man. That's fucked him up. He needs to grow his hair, then the old Angulo will come back. But Ari, you've been quiet for a bit. What did you think about Angulo versus De La Rosa? I was impressed with De La Rosa. Like he was letting his hands go. His movement was good. He kept switching from orthodox to southpaw, and he took some of Angulo's punches really well. I know, like towards the end, he was catching him with a bit more, and he kind of looked like he was hurt slightly, but he still took some of his punches pretty well.
No, I don't know, man. I don't really want to talk about this fight, to be honest. It was hard seeing Angulo, to be honest, man. Like, this was supposed to be a kind of easy fight for him, you know what I mean? And he couldn't even get it done. He has to go, man. And Virgil Hunter in the corner as well. I don't know, man. That guy's, like I said earlier, he's just barking at him, like, you know what I mean, trying to motivate him, but he's not giving him any technical instructions of how to, like, change the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
I've criticised Hunter about that in the past, but it's like with some fight he does do it. Like some of his boxers, he does give good technical advice, and then some of them he just says go get him, just go knock him out. It's like he needs to do more technical and less of just the motivation, because obviously his motivation is not really working. But
Cam, he needs a new trainer.
Yeah, I mean, you wait for me to say that shit, innit, Kevin? You wait for me to say that shit in every episode. I'm not saying it anymore.
Yo, but for real though, Cam, real quick, it's tough to give technical advice. I mean, Angulo's the guy in his prime who lost to Kermit Cintron, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
This guy's not a very good fighter. He never was. He just made for pretty good fights. That's pretty much it.
I think about Perro, I think he's very likable, and we all kind of want him to be successful, and we kind of mentally rate him better than he is, because he's not that good, but we all kind of want him to be good. I think that's what the situation is, because you hear his backstory, and like even when he was doing the pay-per-view with Canelo, and you saw like the All Access, and he's a proper humble guy, and you know he just wants to look after his daughter and stuff, and you just want to see him succeed. But
yeah, he doesn't have the talent. I mean, when Naota said that he was like an animal, you know, I kind of understand him, because you know Angulo is the type of fighter that he will never quit. I mean, he will try to do whatever he needs to win to the end of the round and to the end of the fight, and you know that's the type of fighter that always gives a good show, so you kind of like him, and you never know what he's going to do because he's always dangerous. I mean, remember, Canelo hit him with everything and he wasn't able to not even knock him down, so I mean the guy definitely it brings danger to a fighter, so you always have to take care. You know, in his fight against Lara, he showed it, but you know he never got that win. He dropped Kirkland. I mean, it's like, you know, like I don't know how you say it, but he's not a top contender in his division, but you know he will always be, you know, a good test for anyone.
Yeah, he always presents the danger of breaking his opponent's hand.
that Kirkland fight was the worst thing that happened to him, because ever since he's been paranoid about his stamina.
Dan, we're getting feedback from you.
Slim.
Dan, feedback from you.
Oh, my bad.
What were you saying, Chu?
Nah, he's paranoid about his stamina. He turned it up in like the 10th round, but to me he was just trying too hard to pace himself. And ever since then he doesn't throw many punches.
He pushes them too.
Yeah. On the scales he looked great, man, but when the fight started he almost looked similar to the Canelo fight. He looked laboured, like his feet were in concrete. He didn't have any like bounce in his step. He just seemed like he didn't have that much energy. Maybe he just thought, I'm making 160 now, so maybe I don't have to try as harder.
Well, when he looked dry. Well, the thing about that is I don't even think it really had anything to do necessarily with the weight. In terms of how he looked, I mean, he looked pretty much the same as he's looked pretty much since he went to jail. It pretty much all changed for him once he went to jail. Because before that, and the reason why I had given him all that credit as, you know, looking like an animal or whatever, is because I remember when he first started coming up in the ranks and stuff, that's the way he looked. As soon as the first bell rang, ding, he would come out and be throwing punches and bunches, trying to knock you out in the first round. And ever since, the Kirkland fight and going to getting sent to ICE and getting deported and all that shit, and he came out, it's been, he pushes his punches like an old Mosley, and it's almost like he doesn't get started until about the 4th or the 5th round. He doesn't even start breaking a sweat and start actually doing real work the way he used to until several rounds into the fight. And so he has the possibility of just, being so far behind on points like he was against De La Rosa that he just can't even dig himself out the hole. I mean, he had De La Rosa out on his feet in that last round. 2 more rounds, I mean, I think he could have possibly taken him out, but he just completely ran out of time. De La Rosa was able to recover, and he was just way too far ahead by that point.
Yep. Okay, let's move on to something I don't really want to talk about, so let's not move on to it, but the only thing I want to mention is this little soundbite.
That 119-109 is the most reprehensible, the most outrageous, and the most sickening score I've ever seen returned by any judge working in that cesspit, Las Vegas.
Shout out to my boy Steve Bunce, man. He really held back his feelings after the Vasquez-Mickey Bay fight. Unlike a few people, I did watch that fight. I wasn't impressed. It was a close fight, don't get me wrong, but that scorecard at the end, it was terrible. That's all I want to say.
I don't think it was a close fight. I don't think it was a close fight at all. I had that shit 118 to 110. People were like, saying like they were wondering how in the world I fucking kept it, like scored it all the way through. But I mean, in general, most people, they felt pretty much the same way I did. I mean, Vasquez was the only one that hurt Bay throughout the entire fight. He rocked him with a left hook at the end of like the 7th or the 8th round or something like that. And he was the one clearly controlling the pace. It was obvious Bay was the one that really wanted to get more work done, but he was completely nullified. And I mean, it's not like Vasquez was, landing on him, but he was controlling the action, controlling the space, ring generalship, essentially completely defined in that fight. And he should have won that. And that was a terrible decision. Awful scorecards. There's no way in fucking hell Bay dominated that fight by any means. I mean, I'd have a hard time even giving Bay close to a decision, but I mean, it's just bad, man. And the thing is, Bay he's probably about the most suspect champion at 135 now.
I can't see him being champion for long, man. That dude that I saw on Friday night.
His mandatory is Denis Shafikov. Now,
I was about to say, I saw Shafikov on Friday Night Fights a few weeks ago. I think Shafikov takes him out,
Yeah, so do I.
Because he's southpaw, he's got a beautiful right uppercut and left
good fight,
hook.
That'll be a good fight, though.
That will be a good fight.
Be a lot of punches thrown.
I'll enjoy that fight. Ari, you want to mention this?
I don't know, man. People shouldn't really be shocked. As soon as the fight was made, I knew he was going to get robbed. That's why they made the fight. That's why they signed to Heyman. Heyman didn't really care about the guy to push the guy's career. They did it to try and get TMT that belt, man. No, by any means possible. Like 119, 109, he's not even trying to hide it. Me myself, I only watched that a couple of rounds before I fell asleep, and I tried to go back to Sinsborough, and then that fight's just terrible. No way am I going through 40 minutes or whatever it is to watch that trash. So I don't care. I didn't see it, but I know it was a robbery anyway, because the way Vasquez fights is just ugly, but he gets it done, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it was expected, you know what I mean? It was a TMT robbery in Vegas, and that what's his name? The judge? Is it Howard or Hoyle or something like that?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
He's got history with that. He's the same judge that gave Vargas last fight. He's the one who had Vargas wide in that fight where it was a close fight. You know what I mean? And he had Vargas wide, like 117, 111, I think. So
yeah, I got his name, Robert Hoyle.
He's biased for Vegas. You know what I mean? I think he's for sale over there in Vegas. You want a decision, you give him some money on PayPal or whatever, you'll get it done for you.
To be honest, I don't think they'll be using PayPal, Reese. I think they'll be Ari, sorry. I think they'll be using a different method, to be honest. If that illegal shit was going on, but I hope he does get investigated, man, because there was something that's really something dodgy going on there.
He's not even trying to hide it. If he wanted to hide it, he could have disguised it with a 8-4 or 7-5 with 11-1.
Maybe that's these crazy judges that just, when they know that they're gonna like fix the cards, they just give too many at the beginning, and when the other guy starts winning the other rounds, they think, "Oh shit, this card's gonna look too dodgy now." But anyone else want to talk about this before we move on to the black hole?
Not just it's going to be a shame to see what happens with Vasquez now, because I mean he has such an ugly style. You know, nobody's going to want to give him a shot or fight him. So it's like, if anything, he's just going to have to get back in line with the IBF, either at 135 or 140, and just make it, because, you know, the IBF at least enforces their mandatories, so he'll at least, you know, get his way back that way, but otherwise he's kind of screwed.
Okay, let's move on.
At this time, we would like to ask you to fold up your tray tables and strap into your safety belts. We are now approaching the black hole.
We are indeed. There was a card in Manchester, England, my hometown. I was at the fight with my boys. Shout out to them. Scorsese and Chef from the chat. Scott Quigg versus Stefan Jamoy, who was like a late replacement. Chu, you saw this. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought the guy was meant to present Scott Quigg with a good challenge, but the guy was too small for Scott Quigg. Scott Quigg looked massive. I think Scott Quigg is a very big super bantamweight. I think he's got.
Sorry, just interrupt. That Jamoy guy is like a career bantamweight, but I think he stepped up just for the opportunity and the money, to be honest. But yeah, it was a short notice step up.
Was it? Oh, right, okay.
The initial opponent got injured. I think he's a Namibian, and he got injured just before the fight. So.
All right, okay, well, fair enough. But yeah, Scott Quigg's got good defence. Keeps his hands high, he kind of parries shit, and he's got a great body attack. His body punches kind of interest me, man. I would like to see him in the ring against Carl Frampton, but I still think Carl Frampton smokes him.
Yep, I agree.
I think Carl Frampton would smoke him, just because Scott Quigg's kind of he's just forward. He's just like forward momentum. You know what I mean? Fuck knows, man.
Yeah, you never really see Quigg on the back foot. So, and the times I have seen him on the back foot, he looks uncomfortable. Where Frampton looks both comfortable on the foot or on the front foot or the back foot.
Typical Gallagher style. He's flat-footed and he has no head movement.
Yeah, the second round was quite decent though. Like Jamoy tried to kind of come at him, and it was like a little mini war, but just to the body. Like both of them were trying to just go to the body a lot, and obviously Quigg kind of won that war. But I gotta respect Jamoy. He didn't come down and just fall over. He did put a bit of an effort in. I respect that. But Ari, what did you think?
I just saw it as Quigg beating up on another undersized fighter.
What is it about?
I understand it was a late replacement, but like I said before in the preview show, like the first fight he was going to fight was a bantamweight as well. He's not fighting legit super bantamweights, and it's clear that they're trying to hide something. They're just trying to cash him out with Frampton. That's what I think anyway, because he still has since he's had this paper belt, he still hasn't beaten anyone who's credible.
Yeah, I agree. Like his opponents have been.
So I don't want to big him up. You see me on here, I big up Frampton. I like Frampton because Frampton's shown us things. With Quigg, I just see a typical British style where he's got both hands up, coming forward. You know what I mean? Like I will say he's got great body punches, but outside of that, I don't really see anything really.
All right. I totally agree with you, but let me play devil's advocate. Apart from the 2 wins over Kiko, who's Frampton really beat?
That guy was European level parody.
Yeah, but he wasn't that good, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but like I said, he's done more. You know what I mean? Remember, Frampton's got like 12 fights less than Quigg. Quigg's won like 29, 30 fights or whatever. He's had 2 draws. You know what I mean? Remember, Frampton's only had 18 fights.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing it quicker, and he's got a legit belt.
No, I agree.
So
about the belt.
I want to see that. I do want to see that fight, but at the same time, I don't like the excuses and Gallagher and Hearn. They keep crying about 50-50 split. They don't deserve a 50-50 split because you haven't got a legit belt, and Frampton's got a much bigger fan base. So what do you deserve the 50-50 split? What, because you're on Sky? That's their excuses, because they're on Sky, apparently. That's not a good enough excuse for me. So they keep crying about Barry McGuigan's not making a fight is because he wants his fighter to get what he deserves. Simple as that.
Yep, I think we were the only ones on the line that watched that fight. So let's just quickly go through the undercard. Anthony Joshua, another bit of a mismatch.
My boy.
a bit of a mismatch.
Anthony.
He looked like he just took his time. I think he could have got him out in the second, or probably even the first. But I think he just taking his time trying to get the rounds in. I didn't like that with the knockdown, the first knockdown, the fact that he hit him when the guy was on the floor. That was a bit nasty. That I don't know if it was just his momentum while he's throwing the punch.
I don't think he meant it though.
But
the whole thing is you're not down until the ref calls you down. So fucking swing away, man. The ref needs to get in there faster. That's his fault.
Nah, true. But when you're dealing with these big heavyweights, man, like these guys can like look at the Mago situation. You know, like it's unnecessary. Like he was gonna win that fight. It's not like this is like the 10th round and he's like the balance of the fight is, you know.
I feel you.
But Ari, do you want to talk about it? Should we move on?
Nah, just it's just Joshua again. You know what I mean? I just want him to fight someone that's got punch resistance. He's going to take him further into the rounds. You know what I mean? These early knock jobs, they're not going to really help him that much. You know what I mean?
You know who I was thinking? I was thinking maybe Kevin Johnson, man. Kingpin. Safety pin, sorry.
Well, no, I think it might be a bit too early for that, but definitely inside after his next 2 or 3 fights.
Maybe he's like 10th or 11th.
Johnson or... there's someone else I had in my mind, but I can't think of his name now. But yeah, man, credible guys who go the rounds. You know what I mean? I don't think Johnson's ever been knocked out.
That's the thing. I think
Johnson... Skelton have gone rounds?
No, but Skelton's like 48, man. That wasn't legit.
I think Johnson would definitely give him rounds, and he's not a big threat. I think I can't see Johnson knocking Joshua out. So he needs a fight now where he goes all 8 rounds or maybe goes 7 rounds. I don't want him to get in this David Price situation where he has a fight with someone decent and he starts gassing after the 5th round because he's not used to it.
Well, I mean, with David Price, they stepped him up like a motherfucker, though. Because, I mean, it's like they went from crap to Tony Thompson.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they believed the hype. Because, you know what I mean, he's knocking over guys, and they didn't go through the levels quick. They didn't do it properly, that's why.
It's because he knocked Audley out, and everyone thought, he knocked Audley out, let's step him up now. Let's move on to... What was the next fight I want to talk about? Scotty Cardell, not really to talk about. He blasted the guy out in the first round. They said they were supposed to be competitive. That Kurt Gooding guy, I think he got caught a bit cold. He should have used the first round as a bit of a feel around. He just went in there swinging away and he got caught.
I thought he could have continued as well. I thought it was a bit of a dodgy stoppage.
I thought it was a dodgy stoppage, but he didn't really complain. Gooding didn't really
he's
complain.
Definitely still hurt, but I don't know.
My fight of the weekend almost was Denton Vassell versus Sam Eggington, not only because Denton Vassell's from Manchester, but it was a very competitive fight, a lot of back and forth. I gave Eggington the first 3. The 4th was very close, could have went either. I just give it to Denton because he was being the aggressor. Not many punches were landed by either of them, but for me, the aggressor won that round. The 5th, I give to Vassell, and the 6th I give Vassell. The 7th I give to Eggington, and I think Vassell got stopped in the 8th. Eggington almost took Vassell out in the 3rd round, man. I actually thought the ref was going to jump in because he started flailing his arms around, and Vassell turned his back. But he recovered quite well, I thought, and he finished the round strongly. And then in the 5th, Denton almost could have took Edgerton out. He hit him with some nice clean shots. The body work was starting to work, something he was neglecting in the first 3 rounds. And he caught him with a lot of flush shots, but it almost seemed like Vassell gassed a bit, and then Eggington kind of got his senses back, and then finished the round. Good fight. I'd like to see a rematch. That fight was, I think it was eliminated for the British title. If I'm correct, Ari, who's got the British title still? Is it still
Gavin? Frankie Gavin.
Yeah, so do you think he'll vacate that, or do you think he'll fight Eggington? Obviously, they're on different promoters.
I think he'll vacate it soon. I don't know, obviously the Bundu fight's a step back for him. I think they're trying to make the rematch for the Bundu fight, actually. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it, but...
Is Bundu not
Eggington fighting him? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm to be honest, I'm not really impressed with Eggington, but he did what he had to do against Vassell. I thought Vassell would win, and Vassell didn't. He looked terrible, you know what I mean? And I don't know if he's been I think they say he's been part-time boxing because he's got a full-time job and everything, so maybe that's why. And he had a big break after he broke his jaw versus Gavin, so... Yeah, man, I don't know, because Eggington looked weak to the body, and I thought if Vassell in the 4th round, I think he hurt him, he could have taken him out if he concentrated on the body, but after he hurt him to the body, it's like he stopped throwing to the body. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, he started to neglect the body. I was shouting in the crowd, I was like, yo, go to the body, man, go to the body. But it's just every time he was going towards or going away or getting out of a grapple, Vassell just had his hands down and he was just getting caught with unnecessary shots. It's almost like he thought he had like an iron chin and like he could take all the shots, but he's not got an iron chin, so I didn't understand what he was doing. Like, it's very uncharacteristic because normally he has a tight guard, so I don't know.
Yeah, high guard.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah,
weird. But let's move on. I think we kind of covered that card. Nota, we didn't. You mentioned in the Mixer chat we forgot to speak about Soto and Molina. Do you want to give your thoughts on that fight quick?
I mean, just Soto looked pretty brilliant, man. It's unfortunate that Molina looked so bad, and especially coming off of a pretty gutsy performance against Matisse, because now it's almost, I imagine he's probably gonna have to get back in line to a certain degree. They're going to have to step him down a little bit because he was on. It seemed like he might have been on the cusp of it. If they were to match some of these guys tougher, he was going to possibly get a nice little bit of a shot at something. But I mean, Soto looked pretty good, man. Soto almost reminded me of how he looked a few years ago, back before he was at 140, like when he was at 135, 130, 126 and stuff. And he had fast hands, fast combos, 4 or 5 punch combinations on Molina and stuff. He had Molina a little bit shook right there, man. Like he was because of his hand speed and because of the pop that he was hitting him with. It wasn't even just necessarily like pure raw power, but it was the surprise of it all. Because Soto was able to really, it was like he was able to combo and then put up the high guard, do like a peekaboo, wade side to side, and then hook to the body, then move back to the other side, and then hit him with a right hand to the head and do all kinds of real. Almost like textbook, like it almost kind of reminded me a little bit of what Lamont Peterson was doing to Edgar Santana in certain spots. The way the way Soto was just kind of unloading on Molina. The thing is, Molina was just trying to catch him with one big shot, and he caught him a few times, but Soto took those shots extremely well, man. He took those shots a hell of a lot better than Matisse did. And but otherwise, a lot of them really just sailed over Soto's heads because of the little bob and weave that he was doing. But he looked really good, man. Soto looked good. I think I'd like to see him against a Broner or a Peterson next or something like that. I think those would be a couple good fights. The only thing is, I'm not sure if he might have looked a little too much of a threat because of the hand speed and everything, and the particular skill set that he has. But I definitely like to see it.
Yeah, for me, like it was a decent fight. The thing that ruined it for me was all like the start-stop with all the low blows. It just kind of took the momentum out of the fight. But I was disappointed with Molina because after the Matisse performance, I kind of like was very impressed with him, and I thought maybe he's going to take that momentum and run with it. But he's kind of fell at the first stumbling.
You know what? I actually forgot to mention too. The fight, there was a lot of fouls. They were both hitting each other low like a motherfucker, man.
Exactly, yeah.
I think actually some of the low blows that Soto landed on Molina, which I imagine were probably retaliatory, because it seemed like Molina's low blows tended to be a little more incidental. Like Soto was pulling his head down while he was throwing them.
Yeah.
While he was throwing body shots. But it seemed like with Soto, he was throwing that shit for some get back and to soften Molina up a little bit. And I thought he actually did. I thought that did its job.
I thought that too because
dropped.
I thought that too because towards the end of the fight, you knew that like I've not done any fouls, so I'll get away with a few.
Nady had a shocker.
Yeah, Jay Nady.
Some of them low blows, it wasn't Molina's fault in my opinion. He was getting his head pushed down, so
and
they weren't even that bad. They were on the belt, and then the guy's on the floor, like what I mean, like acting like he's been hit in the balls and shit.
Yeah, he was playing a good role, Soto, because like you said,
they were going off though. They were crazy, man. They were hitting after the bell. Nady was even getting hit a couple of times when he's trying to break them up.
Did you see when he pulled Soto back? Like he kind of did the Paraban move, and he just like Soto went flying to the other side of the ring. That was funny, man. Jay Nady's gangster, man. You can't fuck with Jay Nady, man. He's the most gangster rep out there.
That was the best fight of the card, and that was the free one.
Yeah, it kind of shows, innit? It shows, Harry, man. It's not all about the money sometimes. You got to just make good matchups.
Jay Nady.
Chew.
What?
Chew, you there?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I wanted to talk about something that Kevin mentioned Kevin's gone now, but I thought I'd throw it to you because you've had some negative feedback from your comments about Pacquiao and Brook. What do you think about this possible Pacquiao-Danny Garcia fight?
I think Manny Pacquiao would beat Danny Garcia.
Easily, or...
But do you think it's a good fight?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. If Danny Garcia catches Manny Pacquiao with a left hook, then I think he's got a chance to knock him out. But that's not the fight I want to see. I want to see Manny Pacquiao Floyd. I think Danny Garcia he's not earned the right. To be honest, I don't think Algieri's earned the fight either. But I suppose it's better than nothing. Is Manny Pacquiao going to move down to 140 to fight Danny? Then yeah, I suppose. But I'd rather see Manny Pacquiao Herrera fight. Why do I want to see? Why do I want to see Manny Pacquiao Danny? What's that going to bring? You know what I mean? It doesn't excite me. I'd rather see the man who beat the man.
I don't know. I think as a style match, I think Danny versus Manny would be better. I think Manny versus Herrera would be like a bit of a
spoiling.
Yeah, a bit of a spoiler.
Yeah, spoiling. But yeah, I mean Garcia, he has heavy hands, man. I think that's potential knockout either way when it comes to that whole thing. Hand speed and power from both of them, really.
Yeah. And Garcia has really good timing, so he can maybe time Pacquiao, but I think that it will be a good fight just because Top Rank and Golden Boy or Heyman will be doing business together. So I think if you look that fight from that perspective, it's a really good fight. Just if that fight gets made.
Yeah. There was some news today, Chu. The undercard of Fury versus Chisora. We are going to be blessed with Billy Joe Saunders versus Eubank Jr. on the 29th of November. What do you think about that?
Chris Eubank will knock him out.
I agree, I think Eubank.
This isn't a Eurobomb. I got Saunders by decision.
We will see, my friend. We will
Danny.
see.
No, Danny.
Come on, I haven't seen enough from Eubank. I can't. Saunders is being legit, guys. Well, legit Euro level anyway. You know what I mean? Eubank's been fighting them off the sofa, get a phone call 3 days earlier than they're having a fight.
Eastern Europeans.
That's what he's been fighting. He's been fighting them Eastern Europeans, getting that EasyJet over.
Yo, Kid Galabum's calling you out in the chat. He said Ari's a Eubank hater. But actually, the 1-7...
Ephraim, why you call in, man?
The 1-7's agreeing with her. He says Eubank is a bum. I'm with Ari.
I never said Eubank's a bum, but I think Saunders is good. I've liked Saunders since he turned pro. I think he's decent. I think he could definitely box Eubank on the outside and give him a little lesson. When Eubank's in there, like standing in the middle ring, acting like a clown, thinking he's his dad and throwing wild hooks and shit. I mean, I don't really see a lot technically off him, so I think Saunders can box him and move.
I think it'll be a good fight. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it.
It'll be a good fight, definitely.
Really Ari, do you not think that Chris Eubank Jr. looks as if he lives above the gym, and Billy Joe Saunders looks as if he lives above McDonald's?
I think it's them jeans, man.
Those Levi's.
That's them jeans.
That's that fucking. I'm not gonna slag the guy. He's got potential, but he's not gonna be. He's not gonna be Chris Eubank Jr. I think Eubank, like Mr. Dermo says in the chat, Eubank is special, and this fight needed to happen. So I'm really looking forward to the fight. It's a bit early, to be honest. If it's gonna fight, make it top of the bill, big arena, but it's on the undercard. Yeah, Tyson Fury fight. I mean,
I think the ticket sales have been poor.
What's wrong with that?
So I think he's thought, you know what, let's put this on there to help the ticket sales for Fury Chisora, because I don't think they've been that well.
Nah, but this fight is better than the Chisora fight.
True.
Fury Chisora fight. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if half the arena left after.
Nah, come on, Chew, man. What are you talking about? Fury's good. That's a good heavyweight fight. That's 2 top 10 heavyweights. What are you talking about? Why would they leave?
I think the build up to Fury Chisora is more interesting than the fight itself. I saw the first fight, Ari.
Yeah, Fury should be clearly favored over Chisora, man. I don't even like the fact that they're rematching. Fury should be fighting better opposition.
They're rematching because Fury's representation is terrible. He needs to get rid of Hennessy and just go over to America, because America guys who know him, they love him. You know what I mean? They love how he trash talks. He's a heavyweight, that helps. Yep. You know what I mean? Now, that's what I think. Anyway, he needs to go over to America, man, because over here, there's nothing for him really.
Fury fucking Chisora isn't a Pandora's box. We know what's gonna happen. We saw the first fight. We know what's gonna.
But apparently Chisora wasn't fit though.
It's not an enigma.
That's his problem. Tell Chisora to get fit and go knock out Pulev or somebody. You know?
I'm just saying what they say, man. I still like that fight. I want to see Fury. Fury needs to fight someone, man. The guy.
Exactly. He needs to fight someone, not Chisora.
I don't care, man. He needs to fight someone.
Fury and Chisora isn't going to be who's the best fighter or who's the best boxer. It's about who can fucking not have a midnight munchie. That's what that fight's about.
I mean, I'd like to see Fury against Brian Jennings.
Nah, I don't want to see that. I like both of them. I don't want to see that.
So what if you like both of them? I liked Maidana and Mayweather, but I wanted to see that shit.
It's hard for me when I like two guys, man.
Brian Jennings against Chisora. That's fucking the tickler against the shoe shiner.
No. I'm saying Jennings against Fury though.
Alright, yeah. Okay, Fury can punch.
Yeah.
Oh no, man.
No, but or the winner of Takam versus Povetkin, that'd be good too.
Yeah. But I'd rather see Fury go over to America, man, and just do something, man, because his like I said, he's got poor promoter at the moment. Because he should be further than this. Like, obviously you're saying, what's he doing with Chisora? It's because the guy is not getting in the fights. He should be higher up the rankings by now. He should have, like, a mandatory by now, you know what I mean? So, like, anyway, the Hay thing fucked him up, because he was one fight away. He had the Pulev thing. They thought they were getting Hay, and then Hay wanted to play with them, so they messed up, man. They're derailed.
Povetkin looks like Tintin.
What Fury should do, just go after Ruslan Shagayev's fake-ass WBA regular belt. That dude's trash, man. Shagayev was overrated in his fucking prime. Fury will destroy that dude.
Who's got that in line for that? Or was it Luis Ortiz after he knocked out Latif Kiyomi?
Well, Luis Ortiz has the interim. Then you know how the WBA likes to do it. They don't really enforce shit. They just give everybody a belt.
That one. Apparently they're enforcing that one, yeah. Apparently he's the mandatory or something like that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think Ortiz is going to take Shagayev's ass out, man.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just quickly move on to next week, because MV2 might have to go, because he's, as you can probably tell, he's a bit tipsy today, so he might be getting sleepy soon. Chew.
Nah, I've got my second one.
Oh, you got the second win. Did someone put some ice on the back of your neck while you sat in the stool in the corner?
Nah, we just started talking heavyweights, and I'm fucking making a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
And gave you the bottle, the one that I mixed.
I want those Arusa shakes. I'm shaking like Freddy on a fucking warm day.
Right, Chew. Next week, this whole month, we're kind of black holes everywhere. There's not really a big US card. There is one, but it's got like washed up people on it. But the main one in the UK this weekend, we've got George Groves versus the Italian dude, the European champion, Rebrasse, I think you pronounce his name. I think it's going to be easy win for George Groves.
I think the French guy will surrender halfway through the fight.
I think he's Italian.
No, he's French.
Oh, is he French? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think you've never ever seen a good French boxer. Name me a good French boxer. Anybody.
I can name you a couple kickboxers.
Jean-Marc Mormec.
He wasn't really
The
good.
guy that was dating with the DPR, I think that guy was good.
You know what the great thing about being not French is that you can slag the fuck out of them. You could just criticise the fuck out of them. There's going to be no repercussions for it. There's no one on Twitter. There's no one in the Mixer chat. I can just bully these weekends.
If we got any French people that download the show, I apologise now.
Nah, listen, I respect French people. Nah, no, I don't. Who is this guy? Is he going to beat George Groves? The only way he beats George Groves is if George Groves' snow has been snatched for Carl Froch, and that wouldn't surprise me because that was a hell of a knockout.
Yeah, this guy's got 22 wins and 6 KOs, so he's definitely not going to issue him with power. That's definitely. He's got 2 losses as well.
I can't believe they got this as a final eliminator somehow, man.
Sauerland,
they hustled for that, man.
Sauerland's got a hookup somewhere.
Actually, let me talk about something. Did you not see Darrell? He had an interview on IFL. He was saying he's not going to fight Groves.
What did he say?
And he said he's not coming here for it either and shit like that. He was basically saying that Groves doesn't deserve the title shot after getting knocked out twice, and this guy he's fighting now is a bum and shit like that.
Yeah, but if
it's mandatory, he's going to have to. But you're saying that he will definitely not come over here for it because obviously you're saying about how he felt that his brother got robbed against Froch. So you said he would never come over to England or whatever.
Ari, I want to ask you, because you're more knowledgeable on the forums and stuff about this. Is this a co-promotion? Because I'm looking at the card and there's a lot of Eddie Hearns people on it, but it's a Sauerland promotion, is it not?
Yeah, it's on Sky, innit? And Hearns got the exclusive, so Hearns given them, because obviously Sky kind of like Groves, because they built him up and the Froch fight. So obviously, even though he's not with Hearn, it's on Sky, but obviously part of the deal they must have made out is that Hearn controls the undercard.
Yeah, that's probably.
So that's what it is. It's all Matchroom on the undercard, isn't it? So
yeah.
The undercard's very weak, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Only George Groves and Cal Yafai have got opponents. Everyone else is TBA, which is a bit shit, seeing as though it's on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a weak undercard. They're just trying to. Apparently, the ticket sales isn't going that well either. So I don't know.
Was this the one? No, sorry. Do you know why De Gale pulled out of the other card in a few weeks?
I don't think he was ever actually officially on it. It was just that they were looking for him just to have, they were trying to get him, I think, a title fight, or if not title fight, a very big fight, against Kessel signed. So I don't know. They never had anything official, but I think maybe they might just be waiting now and just make the Froch fight in January or February now, because obviously the Sheffield card's gone down as well. So yeah. So I think it's just going to be him against Froch next.
Yep. I think if Groves does a dance against this French guy, if he gets hit and then he does a dance, then Carl Froch just took that chin. And if Carl Froch just took that chin, he's probably took it forever. And George Groves should retire.
What do you mean?
Come on,
He's like 26, true.
That was
You're going over the top, man.
That was 2 devastating losses.
Nah, the first one wasn't really.
True. When Chemo hears you talk about Groves like this, he's going to be upset with you, man. He's high. He's got the George Groves T-shirt.
I'm speaking directly to Chemo.
If George Groves starts getting knocked out by everybody the way Juanma Lopez is, then yeah, he should retire. But
nah, man,
that hasn't happened quite yet.
I don't like Groves, but I think we're going a bit over the top with it. This guy's fighting is a pillow puncher, man. Like I said, it's crazy that this is a mandatory, man, because this whoever's name is Rebrasse, whatever, the guy hasn't beat anyone. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's a great fight for Groves if he gets a title fight versus Darrell after, but yeah, man.
I don't think he will. I think some bullshit will happen where he'll have to have another fight, because I don't know how this fight deserves you a title shot for the WBC.
It's because Rebrasse is somehow high up in the rankings, that's why.
How the heck did he get so high?
Because he's been European champ for a little while.
Okay.
That helps you.
There's a Warren card on the same night. I think at York Hall. I'm not even talking about it, I'm just saying that Skeet's on it and Buglioni's on it. And then
oh shit! It's my boy Skeet.
Skeet.
Getting that sleep.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible card lights. Warren needs to stop just making these cards, because especially trying to compete with George Groves at the same night. It's pretty stupid in my opinion. But Frank Warren knows boxing better than me, I guess. And then there's this, on the same night again. There's a card in Sheffield, headlined by Kid Galahad in the chat. Now joking. Headlined by Kid Galahad. He's fighting a Brazilian, I think. I looked at the record.
Your boy
DosSantos.
DosSantos. I looked at the record. It's a bit padded in that, but
it's a late replacement. To be fair, the guy they was supposed to fight, Tyson Cave. I think he was like number 5 in the WBA, so that would have helped Galahad get up the rankings a bit. You know what I mean? Try and force the quick fight. But this guy, I think he's like ranked number 14 in the WBO, something like that. So a late replacement is decent, but obviously they would have hoped that the guy didn't pull out.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know it was a late replacement. So yeah,
it's a late replacement.
Hopefully,
I like Galahad, man. Hopefully,
I like Galahad as well. That'll be on Channel 5 for the people in the UK, so it's always good to watch some free boxing. And in Washington DC, sorry, Chu?
Your boy's getting it.
He's getting it. In Washington, Jeff Lacey's still fighting for some reason. He's fighting Reiko Saunders, Hector Camacho Jr.'s Ryan Davis, and DeMarcus Corley versus Daniel Atta. Orlando Salido's fighting in Tijuana, Mexico, versus a cocky gym dude, probably from the cocky gym.
Well, yeah, that guy that he's fighting, Turd Sack Cookie Gym. He fought. He originally in Turd Sack John Dang. He fought Ramon Marquez on HBO back in 2006. Got knocked out in the 7th.
Someone's taking the jacket off. Someone's getting ready, man.
Someone let it rip.
Who's getting the body bag ready?
Why is there?
Salido. Somebody's getting bodied.
Salido's going to finish someone off, but yeah, it's
well,
pretty.
I mean, that Salido fight is actually going to be for the WBO interim junior lightweight title because of the fact that Mikey's been inactive so long. Yeah, and then on that undercard, there's actually the IBF junior flyweight titles on the line also because it's
who's going to win that fight, man? I keep asking you.
Oh, Morales and Javier Mendoza.
No, not that one. Navaev, the Navaev one.
Oh, Narvaez. Narvaez should probably take care of business, man. It's just another, mandatory that he's kind of running through. Narvaez has never really been fighting the elites at 115, so I mean he should be able to take care of that Orokuta, that guy.
Nota, is this card getting televised on like Telemundo or any of these?
Yeah, it's on it's going to be on that same channel, BN Sports. I mean, they're making moves, man. They've had a card every single week now. BN Sports Espanol. They've televised the card every week. They televised that Francisco Rodriguez Takayama fight. They televised the Estrada Segura fight. They're televising this card. I mean, they're making a name for themselves as far as like the little guys and just I guess pretty much Mexico fights are concerned.
So is being a Mexico
channel that's not more widespread?
Is being a Mexican channel? Or is it owned by an American company?
Well, I mean, just the name of it, BN Sports Espanol. I'm guessing like there's a regular BN Sports, like an English one. So I'm guessing that's just like a offshoot of it. But I honestly don't know.
Channel. I think it's a Spanish.
No, it's a Spanish. That channel is a Spanish channel. But the thing is, I'm saying it might be owned by an American television company. I'd be willing to bet that it probably is.
Nah, BN is Middle East.
Arab money.
Middle East, I'm sure.
Chemo owns it.
I think it is Arab money.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You're getting Arab money.
No, you're right. It's owned by Qatar.
Yep.
No wonder they're getting all these fights. Soon they'll be having some big fights when they start pumping more money into it. They got all the oil money.
Maybe Chemo will get a chance to watch Gonzalez versus Estrada in Dubai or something.
Chemo's going to be in the next Richard Schaefer because he's got like the Swiss accent. But sorry, Chu, you were going to say something?
No, I wasn't. Let's go.
Anyone got any final topics they want to talk about before we go?
I want to mention that we have a site now.
Yeah, Mao's been working like for a few months off and on because he's also got a full-time job, but he's done a really good job with the boxingcoalition.com. If you go there and sign up, we're going to be doing a prediction league where you predict the fights, predict what round and knocker. If you get everything right, you get more points. If you just get nothing right, you get nothing. It's a really well-made system that Mao's designed and programmed from scratch, because if you don't know, that's kind of Mao's background. He's done an excellent job with it. If you go to the site, you just sign up with your email address, pick a username, and you can just start predicting the fights. We're gonna have we'll try and put the fights sort of weekly, so so you're not having too much of a big gap to choose. And I think the last time you can predict the fight is about 2-3 hours before the fight. After that, you won't be able to make a prediction. But definitely go check it out. It's still kind of under construction. We're gonna do a few more things to it, but it's just early days.
Yeah.
It's definitely early days.
Yeah, we need the users' feedback too, to improve, know really what they want. But it's it makes it's a good site for now. I think that I don't know, just try it. Fuck it.
Yeah, just try it. Definitely, give us feedback. Constructive criticism is always welcome.
I'm going to tell you right now, these are all going to lose. I'm on a hot streak.
We need to get Ness. We need to get Ness on there and see if he's right at the bottom of the league.
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
You'll get relegated.
Oh yeah. Breaking news. Looks like Kirkland Rosado is going to happen November 8th.
November 8th.
Well, that's good.
So I
like to see Kirkland.
So that's not on the undercard then.
I got Kirkland.
When?
Wait, is that you're telling me that's headliners on card?
Looks like it.
That's a headliner.
I got Kirkland.
When's the beat?
No, that's the Hopkins Kovalev.
Yeah, but I thought I thought that was in October.
No, it says right here November 8th.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm getting mixed up. That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight.
Yeah. So they're going to be fighting at 156 plus 1. I'm not sure exactly what the fuck that means.
I was going to say, what's with the weird catch weight? Why not just choose one of the weights?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me.
So no belt, so they don't want to cut all the weight. I don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, though, it's like one of those things where it's like, if it's going to be that big of a pain in the ass, then just make it a 160.
That's what I'm thinking.
What, so Kirkland's moving up?
Yes.
Well, slightly, yeah.
Exactly. He's not moving up all the way. He's doing like Alvarez. He's gonna, fight at 156, then 157, then 158.
I got Rosado.
Nah.
I do. Rosado already fought Triple G, and he's gotten a little bit better in my opinion. I think he'll beat Kirkland. Kirkland's too chinny in my opinion.
The more I'm thinking about it, that is a good fight, because Kirkland's performance against Tapia was a good performance, even though Tapia was a bit not tested. He's still, after a long layoff, he performed well. So that is a really good undercard fight.
Really, this is a fairly 50-50 fight, though. I mean, you got to take into account how chinny Kirkland is early, and then take into account Rosado's scar tissue.
Well, like Ness was mentioning earlier, Rosado's had surgery to kind of remove some of the scar tissue, so in theory, he shouldn't be as prone to getting cut.
I mean, look at the BKB fight. He got hit with a lot of flush fights, and his face wasn't marked up. So
yeah,
that's a tough fight.
But this is Kirkland. This is Kirkland, man.
Okay.
If Kirkland has access to the black pills, I think he might be okay.
Oh yeah, I just looked on boxing scene. De La Hoya is saying that Canelo is demanding the May date. The Mexican day. He wants to take off Floyd.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Yeah.
So they might.
Wait! That he wants to take on Floyd.
No, he wants to take it from Floyd.
Oh,
the
he wants to fight on that day.
You want the rematch?
Imagine Floyd fighting on his undercard.
Well, I mean, the funny thing about that is, like you'd imagine it'd be something where I beat you, now this is my day. But no, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Well, it opened up a lot of can of worms because Floyd, I think in the press conference after the fight said he might not fight till September, so maybe that's a good way for him to concede that date. Secondly, it could also bring up the can of worms.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Yeah,
he said that.
He did.
Said maybe.
Oh.
And for all the conspiracy theorists out there, maybe this is another reason. Oh, Floyd says, "Oh, Canelo, you're gonna do this shit to me. I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna have fucking Pacquiao on that May date, and I'm gonna fucking take that date from you again." So.
Oh, last minute him.
Exactly. It opens up a lot of can of worms, in my opinion.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Floyd will have to concede, on give that date to Canelo or making business with Orange. So he will lose anyway if you, look from.
Yeah. But another thing is, though, this also means that Canelo is probably going to fight Clottey then in November.
Most likely, yeah, I guess.
I think December.
I'd imagine something like that, because you got to think Clottey's probably the softest touch of the guys that they were talking about. Because they're talking about Clottey, Kirkland. Kirkland's fighting Rosado now, and then Andrade. Andrade's way too difficult to be, fighting short notice like that.
Yeah. Andre's fighting at 160, right?
Yeah. Well, they were saying that he was going to probably move up, possibly either take the title that Quillen just vacated or something else. I'm not exactly sure what he was going to do, though.
Yeah, he's fighting Korobov.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. Yeah. I got Andre in that shit, man.
I got Korobov.
Oh, Andre.
Are you joking? You joking, Chew?
Are you serious? Serious?
I'm serious.
You being serious? You serious?
Andre would fucking outwork him, man.
Have you seen Korobov fight, Chew? The guy's pretty shit, to be honest.
He's a bum, man.
Korobov has heavy hands and no stamina. That's what he has.
Yeah, I saw him fight, but
that's what I think, man.
I'll leave it there.
You can't defend him. Yo, guys, we'll go around anywhere. Everyone, final thoughts. Ari, you got any final thoughts?
Not really. Shit card. That's it really.
You want to sleep a couple of times in the fight?
Nah.
Just
I was actually wide awake for that, man. That nap gave me good energy, but it was pointless.
Bruce, if you're still on the line, any final thoughts?
No final thoughts, man. Shit week. I don't know what's next for boxing, man, for this year.
Roos sounds depressed as fuck, man. Cheer up,
Yeah,
Roos.
he's depressing, man.
Get some chocolates.
Boxing's dead.
Dan, final thoughts?
Boxing's dead.
Cool. MV2, final thoughts?
Shout out to the chat room, fucking as always, fucking I love it. I love boxing and I love the chat.
Actually, where you said that, let's do a chat room roll call. Casual fan, Jas, Ari Gold, Ringleader, TBE Chef, my boy. Nothing for something, always there every week. Nothing for something watches more UK cards than most UK people, man. I got to shout out Nothing for Something, man. He knows more about UK boxing than most people. Joe said it's true. R3 Revolution, Nesmatic, Michael Brigante, shout out you. Star of Paragon, Antonio from Albany, man. He hasn't phoned up in ages, man. Hope you're well, Antonio. John, Chinaman, Monocle 78, Nota Me, MV2, Mount Alpha, Ski Mask Joe, Jack Captain, Die Hard Casual, Boxing IQ, Killer Shan, The 1-7, Kid Galaboham, Hostlayer Dwyer, James Meyer from the Boxing Voice, shout out to you, and one guest. Nota, any final thoughts?
I hope we see Floyd next September against a good opponent, man. And I think the reason why he's taking so much time off is because Maidana touched him up, man. You just got to look at Floyd's face after that fight. Maidana touched him.
So you definitely think he's not going to fight in May then, yeah?
I could see him not doing it, yeah. Because, I could see him wanting a little bit of time off, wanting to recover. I imagine maybe he might have doubts right now because of the quick turnaround that he had from Maidana 1 to Maidana 2. So he might want to take a little bit of an extended stay.
I'd like if he did that, because then that kind of forces the Khan Brook fight, because then, Khan's not going to stay.
Oh yeah, speaking of Brook, I saw that gash. That shit looks bad, man.
Yeah, but did you read the story though, Nota? The story sounds dodgy as fuck.
Yeah.
Boy, he got fucking macheted in the thigh. What the hell is that about?
No, but
I don't believe the story.
No, it's the build up though. Like he was.
Anyway.
Let me give you a quick recap of the story. So he's out with his missus having dinner. He meets a couple from the UK. He start talking. His missus says she's tired. She wants to go back to the hotel. He puts her into a taxi. He continues to chill with this couple from the UK. They go over to a bar. They meet another person. They go over to some apartments across the road, meets another person, and he starts talking about street fighting. Next minute he pulls out a machete and stabs him in the leg, man. Like, that's a very shortened version of what happened, but it's basically underlined.
He met this guy he never known before and went back to that guy's apartment, just them two, and to keep drinking or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds a little
I don't know.
Suspect to me.
I think
Sounds suspect.
There could be some truth in it. Maybe, he was on holiday and he's looking for some coke or a little something.
No, you know what, Roos? Roos, I thought that, I thought he's looking for some drugs, I thought that.
Yeah.
Maybe. So. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know, it's weird because he said the guy caught him and the guy is just shouting over him.
I mean, who really carries around a machete but a drug dealer?
But how did he get away from the guy then if he's in the guy's apartment bleeding out?
Maybe Brooke tried to rub him, and the guy won't have it.
Maybe he touched him on the chin before he got cut. Maybe it was kind of like Golovkin, like he got cut and he hit him on the chin at the same time.
Yo, maybe the guy with the machete was a Khan fan. He said, "Yeah, it's Queen Khan getting it."
This coke is mine. This coke is mine.
That's a great impression.
Oh shit, man. Chu, you said in the Mixler chat you want to mention Khan.
Yeah.
Queen Khan.
Like, see, just before the Mayweather fight, they had the camera on Khan. You know how they do, they kept on panning to celebrities in the crowd, and they just kind of, you know how they just show the camera on the celebrities until they go away.
Yeah, they keep it too long.
They done that in Cannes for about 20 minutes, man.
Yeah, Khan. It's and it's funny when they go to the fighters, because the fighters, it's like they're smiling, they put a fist up, and they're like, yeah. And then they're waiting for the camera to go away, and then they put the fist up again, like, yeah. Just in case they didn't catch it the first time.
You can't get confused, you kept on looking at the side of the camera, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Just a quick one. So, is it fair to say little bro outshone big bro?
I wouldn't say that. What do you mean?
What? Like Broner, you mean?
Yeah.
Could you repeat that?
You mean in terms of his fight was more entertaining?
It was entertainment, but the quality of a position, though. The quality of a position, though, Roos.
Not even close, yeah. Not even close.
I wasn't really impressed with Broner, to be honest. He should have done better.
That fight should have been easier for Broner. He made that fight difficult.
Well, that's the only reason why I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Soto. I was saying, well, shit, I don't even know if they'd match Soto and Broner. I imagine they might even see that as too big of a threat.
Yeah, Broner's going to duck Soto.
That'd be a great fight.
Broner would duck Soto because Soto looked alright. He looked pretty good against Molina.
Put it this way: if I had a couple of tickets, I think I know which fight I would want to be in, be entertained.
You just want to see the ratchet people. You want to chill with the ratchets.
Me and Dan.
You and Dan doing Molly. Actually, you won't do Molly. It's only Dan that would do Molly.
If I had the
chain jack somebody,
I would obviously sell the Floyd tickets on StubHub and then take the rest of the money and buy some Molly at the Broner fight.
Exactly. That's a businessman right there. That's the guy that's done a degree.
And then go up to chicks and say that you're the A-side on Molly.
Exactly.
Go up to chicks and pretend that you're Eek Yang.
Yeah,
I'm a fighter out of Macau.
Yeah, the joke's not good enough when you gotta explain it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But Mal, have you got any final thoughts, Mal? Sorry, Dan, what you say?
Danny Pacquiao, you guys touch on that subject?
What, Danny Garcia?
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke
you guys
about
heard about Oscar saying, right, that Heyman was okay with that?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I mean, that's a good fight if they can make it happen. I'd like to see it, as long as Pac gets by.
Dan, we spoke about that, but what's your thoughts about that fight?
I think it's a good fight, man. I think it'd be a great way to kind of break down that barrier, right? Between... Shit, I was going to say between Golden Boy and Top Ring, but that's between Heyman and Top Ring, so...
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool thing, but I'll let Mal give his final thoughts, though, because I know it's getting late.
Final thoughts, Mal?
Fuck all the people that say that Rosado and Kirkland will be a close fight, man. Kirkland will steamroll Rosado.
Why do you say that, dude?
Because, I mean, Rosado...
Tapia?
No,
like
because Kirkland... But that was just one round, man. I mean, the same with Angulo. I mean, anyone can have a bad round, especially if it's the first round. Yeah, but, Yeah, I know, but Kirkland is always a low starter. He has that problem. He has to improve it, but it's not a fight that's going to last one round. It's a 12 rounds, 10 round fight. I mean, what are you going to do if you can survive that? If you can take Kirkland out in that first round, what is he going to do? He's not going to do anything, man.
He's just gonna pot shot him. He's just gonna fight on his back foot. I'm not saying Rosado suddenly turned into a great boxer, but he has shown
exactly.
He can throw punches on the back foot. He has shown me that. And he did
against who? Against who?
He did it for 9 rounds. I know he was getting his ass beat by Triple G, but Triple G is that much better than Kirkland in my opinion. And secondly, dude, you were shitting on Angulo last week. I think Angulo and Kirkland are on the same level of fighter.
No, I disagree completely, man. I disagree because you say that what did Rosado do against Triple G? But in that fight, he didn't throw any punches. I mean, he was just moving. I mean, how is he going to win a round against Kirkland by doing that? I don't see that.
Yeah, but Kirkland, like I said, Kirkland's nowhere near as good as Triple G. He's so easy to hit, man.
Yeah, but I don't think. But he will have to exchange. I don't.
Is Jermell Charlo as good as Triple G?
No, but they're two different styles, dude. You can't even compare the two. But I'm just saying, like, it's a 50-50 fight.
Wait, hold on, Dan. Sorry, Dan. What the fuck was that, Nota?
What he's saying, he's just making it sound like it's all about class. Sometimes it's not.
No.
necessarily
I'm talking about
just
styles. I think Triple G is like a Super Saiyan version of Kirkland, just in terms of his defense, the way he stalks people. Like Kirkland to me is like he's not that much better than Angulo. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think Rosado just going to be able to capitalize on that, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, Kirkland to me he's kind of like Angulo. He's a bit head casey. Like sometimes he might show up and
dude, he's more like head casey than Angulo.
Yeah, no, of course he is. He's even more random than Angulo is. But I'm just saying, like I think his peak is higher than Angulo's.
Yep. But I think the very fact that we're arguing this much means that it's going to be a great fucking fight, man.
Yeah, I think so.
But Dan, you're comparing Kirkland against Angulo, and look, Rosado faced Angulo, and he got knocked out in the second round. So
that was when he was working at Home Depot, Mal.
Yeah, but I don't think that he improved that much.
I do. I certainly do. Absolutely, I think he did.
Yo, I forgot about that. That's Angulo's best win.
Nah, come on, dude. Look, I've shitted on Rosado so much in the past, especially Billy Briscoe, but I like the style for him, man. I think this is a good fight, and I just think, look, I know BKB isn't boxing, but he knocked out a fucking iron-chinned Vera.
Yeah, that's a good shout, but Dan, you need to remember, the Rosado has got very, very soft skin.
Yeah, but again, we just mentioned earlier that he had, that surgery, and he got touched by Vera, and he didn't get cut once, man.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Dan. Dan, you win for now, but I will return when I'm fresh.
I'll be waiting one day. Hey, I'll send you over some kale juice if you want. 2-day shipping. I want you to be clean for next Monday so we can go back at it.
Nah, man, I'm not at the races today, mate. You win.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Mal, the 1-7 and Josh Jess have been to the site and say you have done an excellent job, so give yourself a pat on the back.
Yep. Shout out to Mal.
Shout out to Mal. Shout out.
Shout out to Mal.
Alright, cool guys. So we'll call it a day. We're back next week. Thanks to everyone that called. Thanks to Ari, Roos, Dan, Envy Chew, Nota, Mal, and everyone else. Peace, guys.
Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
I did. Man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
Timo got this Boxing Coalition shit going on.
Who the fuck is Ringside Rob?
I'm Ringside Robert, guys.
If you're a casual fan, go fuck yourself, man.
Daniel, don't take the backseat of the car while you're driving though. That could be dangerous.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
You can't come at the Lebanese prince.
Hey, I'm the Arab prince, motherfucker, so I can talk whatever I want, yeah?
I'm never surprised with anything Bob Arum says. I just hope he dies, son.
Do you want to be entertained or you want to see the best fight?
Both.
Yeah,
oh, shit, you just want it all, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's what casual fans want.
Fuck you, man.
You use used all your bandwidth this month on the Boxing Coalition. That's what that was.
Hey, come on, man. Don't be jealous, man.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. Fuck that shit. I'm jealous.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.